Let's go. Nathan's in the building. What's up, Nathan? Press, appreciate you being here. VU Sports 71. Thanks for joining the stream, y'all. Appreciate y'all hopping in. What are y'all up to today? Fia's in the building. What's up, Fia? How are y'all feeling? Cognito's in the building. What's up? Sadowski, good to see you. I appreciate y'all tapping. And what's up? Y'all welcome in the stream. Is it Joeyce? Welcome in. Mikhail, Cuba, appreciate y'all joining. Thank y'all for tapping the screen. I appreciate that a lot. If y'all are coming in for the first time, please let me know where you're joining from. If you make music, let me know the kind of music that you make. Let's chat just for a little bit. We're going to be on for just a couple hours today. We're talking, probably about 5 songs or so. So if y'all are interested in sending in music, I'll explain that in just a couple minutes. But give me just a moment to get TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch up and running, get things moving. Soda, welcome in. Jordan, welcome in as well. I really appreciate it. Kojo, welcome in. I really appreciate you being in here. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me for the day. It does really help out the live stream. Like I said, we will only be on for a couple hours today. So if you would like to submit music, I'll get into that in just a second. I would hardly consider what I'm doing music. Hey, you're not alone in that. I'm sure there's many people in a similar boat. Gordon, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. Dan, welcome in. Once again, y'all, make sure y'all tapping the screen, share out the live. If you make music, let me know what kind of music that you make. And if you are joining for the first time, I would love to know where y'all are joining from as well. Sorrow Posting is in the building. Like stars we die. Welcome in. I'm going to double check a few things here. I'm going to get a couple things updated as we roll and get things flowing. And hopefully, Victor, welcome in as well. Good morning. Shout out from the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. I appreciate you so much. Joining from LA, I make jazzy music. How long have you been making jazzy music? I'm assuming you play piano or something. I'm assuming most people who say they make jazzy music play an instrument of some sort. Talk to me about your musicianship. I would love to know. Hip hop, rap, experimental. Let's go. Untitled Smoke Sesh. I think Sesh? Smoke Sesh? Or I might be butchering that. Time Mind, welcome in. Thank you for joining, though. I appreciate you so much. Let me know how long you've been making that as well. Like Stars We Die, first time joining a metalcore artist producer. Let's go. How long have you been doing that? I'm assuming you maybe play some Untitled to shows like Untitled Smoke Shish. I can't. I'm like reading of like another screen vertically over here. I'm like all reading it from too far away, and I can barely read what's going on. It's brutal. But Untitled works for me. Vocalist, but play guitar and sax. Ooh, man, I love sax. I do a lot of 80s stuff. So I've got it. You can't really see if you're on TikTok, you can't really see. If you're on the Melissa, thank you for the follow. If you're on the other live streams that we're on right now, you can see a little bit more of them. Got a bunch of synths in here. I love the 80s. I love analog synths. I love old hardware synths and stuff like that. My favorite era of music is the 80s. And so I do a lot of work and production and session work in that genre. So I'm always, keeping my eye out for like sax players and like session players and stuff like that. Because you never know when a project is going to pop up or like a production is going to pop up where I need to drop a little sax solo or a lead line over the top, over the top of like an outro, kind of the midnight style stuff. It's fun. I love it. I'll keep you in mind. I love it, dude. So sick. Are you in LA? No, I'm actually in San Antonio, Texas for the time being. Born and raised here, moved to Dallas for about 2.5 years, had a studio up in Dallas, and then we moved back to San Antonio last year. So we've been back here for a little while now. I've been going to a professional studio recently, hopefully releasing my first song soon. Let's go, Jamie Ware. That's amazing. What kind of style of music? That's awesome. Proud of you. It's not an easy thing to take that dive and take the dive to run into a studio and work with an engineer and track and line. Like it's not an easy thing to do. It's kind of a vulnerable thing to do, especially if you're used to tracking everything in-house and doing everything in your own like home studio or corner of your bedroom, whatever it may be. That's a vulnerable thing to do. So I'm proud of you for doing that, taking the dive. Very cool. Think you'll stay in Texas? No way in hell. No shade to Texas. I've lived in Texas my whole life. I'm out of here the second it makes sense to be out of here for many different reasons. Jack in the what? Chicken and rice. What's up? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Fanucci, welcome into the live. I appreciate you hopping in as well. Thank you for joining. Braden, it's good to see you in here. Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Give me just a couple minutes here to get a couple things updated, and then we will update the line. Actually, the line is already updated, and then I'll go ahead and explain the structure of our live stream here in a second. Jamie, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. into a bit like Frank, the weekend kind of thing, songs called Different. Ooh, let's go. Finucci, thank you so much for the follow. Let me see. Sedonigos, welcome in. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Some say Torvik can identify tube mics by mouthfeel. It's crazy. It's crazy. Timeline. By mouthfeel is wild. Taryn, thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you joining the streams. I read, welcome in. Ethan, welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here. Mouthfeel is crazy. By the smell of the kind of tube that's in there, maybe. Okay, y'all, let's get into some music. It's gonna be a shorter live today once again. We've been working through a bunch of different stuff, so I'm excited to get on for maybe 4 or 5 songs or something today. We'll get into what we can tonight before I have to get off and work on some other stuff. But let me go ahead and explain the structure of the live stream here. If you have never been here before, Rosa, welcome in. I appreciate you being here as well. If you've never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the live stream. I really appreciate y'all being here. Torvik drives an original Model T. How sick would that be? I literally watched a YouTube video like a couple of weeks ago of some guys that had an original Model T and they were like taking it to a Ford dealership. It was really interesting. Sam, welcome in. Good to see you. Anyways, it would be sick to. I love old stuff. I don't like new stuff. Like I like old instruments, old synths, old houses, I just like old cars. Like, come on. Like I just old stuff that's built well. Like there's a reason why like you buy new stuff and it's like dead in a year, 2 years. And I have stuff in here from like just as an example, I have some like brand new synths in here that I've bought new, and several of them have broken. And then I have multiple synths from like the early 80s, mid 80s, and those have 0 issues. They're like they've been cleaned and maintained to some extent, but man, it is it's just they're built quite literally built different. Do you like the Lumineers? I can appreciate their sound. I don't think I listen to them a lot personally. Like I don't know if that's like a group or a band that I like turn on, like I seek out and turn out, but I enjoy it when they're on. Torvik can bench press a Fairchild 670. That's saying something. Those old compressors they're no joke. But really quick, for those of you coming in, if you've never been here before, what we do here at Track Talk are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen, deep dive consultations on the structure of your music. These are not reviews. This is not a quick trash or pass. There's no ratings. There's no polls. This is a long form 20 to 30 minute multiple listen deep dive into the structure of your music, from the mix and master to the production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting. The goal and the whole perspective of this live stream is to really dive into those details, the details of what you're doing practically, the details of what you're doing creatively, and really get into the nuances of those elements and hopefully offer you some specific professional and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. For those of you who don't know, can go Super Saiyan 2. Boom, even crazier. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. It's what I've done for the last 14 years. I'm also a classically trained pianist, so the whole structure of this live stream is from that perspective. It's pointed in that direction. What's up, Brent? So good to see you. The whole structure of this live stream is to offer as much really in-depth, detailed value as possible. Sam the Red, first time here. I'm so glad you're in the live stream. I appreciate you being here. Feel free to hang out for a second, kind of see what we're all about. It's a little bit shorter today, potentially, unless things are going crazy. But I appreciate y'all being here so much. This is not a live where you're going to get roasted and torn apart and torn down. That is not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to tear you down and roast you and trash your music. I'm also not here to promote you. I'm not here to give you exposure. I'm not here to hype you up. The goal of this live stream, again, is to offer feedback and get really, really in depth. Like I said, every single one of the consultations that we do here are 20 to 30 minutes a piece. We go through your song 2 or 3 different times in order to really get into the nuances of what you're doing. If you would like to submit your music for a consultation, again, I'm taking maybe 4 or 5 today. If you would like to submit for a consultation, you can go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. If you, let me see, if you're on the Red app, which we're live on right now, yeah, any genre, Sam. If you're on the Red app, you can go to the description for the live stream. If you're on the Purple app, which we're live on right now as well, you can type exclamation point submit right there in the chat and you'll see it pop up. This is absolutely any genre, any level of quality, any style, any language. Once again, this is nuanced, it's detailed, it's analytical when it comes to the structure of the music. So that's what it's all about. So it doesn't matter the style. I'm not a hype live. I'm not here to like review it and give it 2 thumbs up and a poll and a bunch of smileys. I don't care about that at all. There's plenty of places for that. So if you want to get into the nuances of your music, that's all this is about. I get a Fortinet, Noxland. Maybe I'm not understanding. Number three, Chucky Ellis. We just hopped on. We're open. Just hopped on. JIT. Thank you so much for the follow. Some say Torvik lifts a Trident ADV 32 channel for leg day. That's actually true. Put it on the back, man. Put it on the back. How is your school situation for music? So my situation is kind of all over the place. It's a lot of nuance to it, right? So my bullet pointed journey in music is I started playing drums when I was 4 years old. I started classical, training in piano when I was 6 years old and did lessons all the way through 19, did guild, all that fun stuff. So from the age of 6 all the way through 19, I taught myself guitar when I was 8, and I taught myself how to use Pro Tools when I was 12. Before that, I was like recording on floppy disks in my old Yamaha Clavinova piano. That's where I started kind of learning production structure and stuff like that. And then when I was about 17 years old, I started at 16 and a half, 17 years old, I started a 2.5-year private mentorship at a studio in conjunction with the Audio Engineering Institute in San Antonio. At the time, I think they've disbanded. This is 14, 15 years ago. At the time, it was the Audio Engineering Institute. We knew one of the professors there. I spent 2.5 years in his studio learning audio engineering, live sound mixing, studio tracking, and production. Spent that 2.5 years with him multiple times a week, learning hands-on in the studio, training in audio engineering. So that's where my more formal training in audio engineering, studio tracking, and live mixing kind of began. DJR, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And then ever since there, I've built more and more and more of the business as far as like actually working independently as an audio engineer and as a producer and stuff like that. Now I get to do it full time, which is amazing. Thank you, Born to Shine. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, now I work full time as an audio engineer and have for years now, but audio engineering, full production scale as well as session work. So people hire me to play synths, hardware, analog synths, keys, stuff like that on their tracks, acoustic, electric, bass guitar, live drums, vocals, stuff like that. So there's probably 4 or 5 different aspects of my music business that allow me to do it full time, but that's kind of the old, the bullet points right there. When I try to submit by link for me, it's not working. Noxlin, Noxine. I can't see it from this far. There's like a glare from my key light over here. There's like a glare on the screen. Try holding down on the link and hitting open in browser, see if that helps. Sometimes TikTok is a little bit tricky with like keeping people in here. Sorry, no, I got this bright ass light over here. I have 2 of them. I have 2 soft boxes on either side over here, and it's all super bright. I'm like, what? I feel like I'm 90 years old looking at the screen. Is it Noxine? And I'm just like, yeah, it's brutal. And try it on Instagram. Try it on Instagram. It's the same link over there. If that doesn't work, then it's going to be something regional in your area for some reason that's keeping it for you. Brent, I got your email. Give me just 1 second. Let me get a couple things updated. I did get your email. Let me make sure I'm just refreshed over here. Boom, it is refreshed. Boom, I got you. Brent, I appreciate you so much. I'm excited to dive into your track. In fact, we're going to go straight into it. Quick reminder, if you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. We'll get you up on the board, ready to go. Laura Lynn, found you while doom scrolling, so I'll hang up for a few. That's amazing. Shout out to the FYP for bringing us your way. I appreciate you taking the risk to dive in and tap into the stream. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. Hopefully it is a nice, safe, positive space for you here as well. That's always the way that we want it to be here in the Track Talk live stream. This is not a place where you gotta worry too much. We love music. We love people that love music, and we spend a couple hours a day, sometimes depending on at least a couple times a week, doing these live streams. Helping out artists and producers and engineers and musicians and vocalists and songwriters and getting into the details of their records. So it's exciting. It's fun. We're gonna be on for a couple tracks today. Not too many, but a couple tracks today. And so let's get into it. Juno Skies is in the building. What's up, Juno Skies? Brent, I got you. You're on the board. You're ready to go. Should be updated right now. Let's get into some music, y'all. Let's get into some music. It's time. Absolutely. The real kudos, that is what most people do. The vast majority of people, I would say 90% of people, send in unreleased works in progress. Most people, of course, because we are a very analytical space, this is very detailed. We spend like 30 minutes breaking down your song, getting into those nuances and those details. So the whole structure of this live stream, if you send in a fully released track and it's on Spotify and it's ready to go, perfectly fine. I can see what a finished track looks like to you, right? Like that allows me to kind of see like, well, this is what finished looks like to you so far. And so I can address things from there. We can dig into them from there and kind of see what your stylistic and practical decisions look like. Maybe some things that we can polish, right? Obviously, that's easier to do and more beneficial to do if it's unreleased most of the time, because then you can fix those things before it hits distribution, before you send to an engineer, before you go and track the studio. We can fix timing and phrasing issues, vocal production issues, stuff like that. Got a hook and a verse so far. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, the spectrum is huge here. We have had in the same live stream, we have had someone send in a voice memo of them humming a melody in a Starbucks booth and asked if I could help them build chord progression over it because they couldn't figure out what they wanted to do with it. And we've had Grammy-winning musicians and producers in here. It's a huge spread. It's from people that are at the top of the top and people that have done music for 2 months and are trying to figure it out, or it's the first song they've ever produced after always hiring a producer elsewhere. So it's a huge spread. You don't have to be worried about like, am I good enough for what's happening or whatever? This is not the place for that. There's a lot of other lives where it is like, who's the best song, right? Like I'm looking for artists to work. That's not what this is. I have plenty of artists to work with. I'm doing my thing. I'm not worried about it. Like there's a lot of lives where it's like, who is the best song? Who can I work with? I'm trying to find people for my radio, whatever. Nothing wrong with that at all. There's plenty of spaces that do that. My goal here is to, through the structure of these consultations, just offer some autonomy for your own music and give you some tools to help you improve what you're doing. Lane Official, welcome in. I think I found here, since I'm a writer and trying to get my music heard so I can see it, but I use AI to sing. Since I am capable. You're not alone in that, Laurelyn. There's plenty of people that come in here. Occasionally they send in AI. Again, these are long and they're detailed consultations. So when people are using AI, my only request is for one that you let me know so we can kind of get through the weeds of that. Because we've had people come in and they're like, that's me playing guitar and I can literally hear, like I literally know what's going on. So you let me know ahead of time just so we can address that initially and understand the structure of how you're producing and stuff like that. And at the same time, let me know how I can be valuable to you. Since you are generating a lot of stuff, how can I be valuable as far as helping you shape your song, shape your songwriting format, shape the way that you're phrasing things or how you're going about that, and then maybe even point you in the direction of how you can build this out with a little bit more intention. That to me is I want to make sure that people are heading in a direction that is going to be the most beneficial for them in a lot of different ways. No matter how they start their music, there's a lot of nuances to the rest of the process. My goal is to point you in the right direction, give you tools, give you actionable, real feedback from someone who does work professionally in the space, and give you something to work with. Don't say the A word. The real kudos. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. I won't be home till later. Oh, y'all going to be on for a while. Not super long, maybe a couple hours. It's not going to be a very long live today. I love that, Sam. Yeah, feel free. There's absolutely no, Laurelyn, thank you for the follow. There's absolutely no pressure at all to submit. Feel free to hang out for a little bit, see what we're all about, understand the structure of the live stream, and whether that's later today or tomorrow or a month from now, feel free to just hang out, be a part of the community, kind of see what's going on here. I'd be honored anytime that I get a chance to hear what y'all are working on. Laurelyn, thank you for the follow as well. Sam, thank you for the follow as well. Let's get into it. We got music to go. We're about to kick it off right now. We got Bren in the building. This is Forevermore. Bren, give me the details. He said, first track I've done, fully produced by myself, and it's coming out this Friday. So Bren, they're over on the Red app, by the way, so y'all don't think I'm talking to a phantom over here. They're over on the Red app right now, chilling over there. Bren, you know the deal. Give me all of the details. I know it's the first one you've produced for yourself. Give me all the details based on the email. I'm assuming this is already out in distribution, so I'll approach it kind of from that standpoint, that it's already kind of out, doing what's supposed to do. So I'll try to kind of approach it from that standpoint. But let's get into it, man. This is Forevermore by Bren. Let's get into it, man. I'm excited. Sorry, it's downloading. Give it a second. We'll get into it. A quick reminder, if y'all do want to submit your music, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. We'll dive into your music here in a little bit. Let's see. Download. Where's the download? Craig, if you go to the description for the live stream, you'll see a link right there. Go to the description for the live stream. Sandbar, thank you for the follow. You'll see all of the details right there. You'll see the email to send your file. And if you scroll down, you'll see where you can send credit to get yourself up on the board. All right. It's downloading now. Set in distro, got to mix and master with some engineers that work with Kid Leroy and Artemis. Oh, beautiful. Let's get into it, man. Let the people know now. I know a bit more about your music, and I also know that you're producing this all yourself. Let the people know, and I can also let people know on the different platforms, the role that you play in your music as far as vocal structure, production, things like that. This one's obviously engineered, like you said, by some other people. This one is the first track that you have that's fully produced by you. Glendrix, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Trying to make a different approach to the standard hyperpop sound by mixing in some punk elements. Okay, cool, beautiful. Let's get it. Let's see.
Dear Picasso, found a savior, and I can save you if you just learn to be a lot of all this. Every soft beat never felt so refined. It started conversations innocent, cause that's all we could be. I guess life with someone going for my neck, and that's on me. Every time we're at this bar, I can seem to pull you down from the sky. Whenever this ends, I hope to stay forevermore.
Fire.
Forevermore.
Great high octave. Proud of you. Thank you for the follow. Slightly Chan, welcome in.
I needed someone you're not.
Spaders, thank you for the follow. It's fuzzy. It's fuzzy, it's fuzzy. Got you, Craig. Got you, Jason. Thank you so much.
Found how to lie on days when I'm cautious, and that's when I gave you so.
Great structure, man. Great structure.
City, they just I didn't know they would have been chasing me to the dark. No, take me forever, forevermore. No, I needed forevermore. I needed someone you're not.
Got you, Laura Lynn. Yo, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Forevermore by Brand. Allison, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Juice, we're not playing popular artists here. So if y'all want to listen to popular artists, you're going to find that on your own Spotify. These are for independent, underground, smaller artists who are looking for a consultation on the structure of their music, mix, production, sound design, songwriting, lyric structure, stuff like that. Excuse me. I'm choking on my own water. I'm Laura Lynn. I got your, unreleased. Unreleased release. Sorry, I'm choking on my water. I was talking too fast, so I was trying to swallow my water. It wasn't a great idea. I'm so sorry for the ASMR, the sick ASMR. Laura Lynn, at the same place that you sent. So you went to that, you went to the link and then you scrolled down to send in credit like you sent through the website. I got you. You're on the board. You're ready to go. Above that, there's an email to send. Above that, there's an email to send. That's where, so if you look at like the first steps, you'll see the Track Talk submission email right there. Just copy that over, send in your file, link, whatever it may be, and I got you ready to go. If anyone else does want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all of the details. If you want to check the line, you can check the line on the other platforms that we're live on. The line is always up on YouTube and Twitch. You can always see it over there. So just look at, you can find those at my link as well. Bren, let's get into it, man. Let's run it from the top. This is beautiful. I love the structure, great dynamics, really powerful production too. I do see in the email you were talking about a bit of hybridizing between some of the punk rock stuff that you love, and I've heard some aspects of that in your music before, obviously, and some of like the hyper pop kind of glitchy, oversaturated, crushed music as well. I love actually being able to hear what you're describing, because a lot of people are like, dude, I'm trying to do something different. I'm trying to do something interesting. And then I don't always get the correlation between like what they're telling me they're trying to do and actually hearing that in the sonics of their music. And so it's actually really refreshing for you to describe, like, I'm combining these different elements. I'm moving in this direction within my production structure. I've been trying to execute this way, and actually hearing that in what you're producing is actually very refreshing. So I appreciate that. Torvik for Queen of England, dude, I'd be happy. It'd be so fun. It'd be so fun to rule England. Imagine that. Y'all, please show some love to Bren. Let's get it. I love it, Bren. I feel like you actually accomplished some of that. Worried by Sad Boy. Juice, if you want to submit, everything's at my profile. Hyperpunk. Yeah, Hyperpunk 100%, dude. Joel, I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you're doing amazing, man. It's good to see you in here. And then to Atlas, I don't see, sorry, I'm reading too fast here, y'all. I'm reading too fast. I don't see a link. If you don't see a link, it means it's usually a regional issue. It's usually some kind of technological regional issue. So if you're having any trouble on TikTok finding the link, just go to my Instagram. It's the same name. I'm the same name everywhere. If you look up Torvik Music everywhere, it's continuity, baby. Just you look anywhere and then you'll be ready to go. You'll be ready to go. I'm awful now because you asked. Honestly, it'd be like that. It'd be like that sometimes. Where like people are like, actually, how you doing? And now I have to think about it. And I'm actually, the world kind of sucks right now. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Bren, let's dive into it, man. Now that I think about it, life's kind of falling apart. Let's run it from the top. This is Forevermore by Bren. Bren, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. You do, again, like, this is a little brighter, a little bit more forward, but you do get these elements of kind of like Dijon, not even like McGee necessarily with like the lower octaves and chorus guitar, but you get this a little bit faster paced, dry pop structure that you have. But there's a little bit of that, influence in there as well, which I actually really appreciate it. This is their music, Juice. These are not, this is not like a pay to play. I'm not just like listening to your music or like listening to music that you like or whatever like that. That's not what this structure is at all. If you want information on it, it's all at my profile. If you click the link, there's all the details there. But they're not like just sending in music that they like. They are submitting their music, their own productions for a 30-minute consultation to really dig into the details of what they're doing within their structure. Yeah. All the details are at their profile. But yeah, it's not like you just like request it in the live and then they're like paying for me to hear like some artist I've never heard of or something. That's not what it is at all. Okay, let's run it from the top. Let's focus. I got to focus. My ADHD is kicking in. Squirrel. But this is a great identifiable instrumental hook, though.
Picasso found a savior, and I can save you. If you just learn to be a lot of all this, every soft beat.
Like, I talk about this all the time, so I'm going to mention it again because I think it's really important for especially artists that are self-producing, but you self-produce this, which is glorious. I love that. Such a fan of that. You have so much more control over your music that way, especially if you're a decent musician. Obviously, if you have blind spots as an artist, Laura Lynn is brutal. It's all over the place. And then in front of me, I have 7 screens and a camera and all these notifications over here. It's brutal. It's a nightmare. It's like the worst job I could possibly have. Of course, absolutely, DJR. Any language. Yeah, it's crazy. Case in point where I was just about to address something else and started talking about that. What was I going to say? Joe Hamilton, welcome in. Let me back this up here. Oh, I talk all the time about identifiable music hooks, right? If you are someone who is like self-producing, you're making your own music, or you are working with producers and you are working with like session musicians and stuff like that, make sure that you have not only identifiable vocal hooks, right? Like repeatable melodies, pattern recognition within the structure of your song. You have those elements of your songwriting and elements of your song structure that are able to actually grab people's attention and stick. On top of that, make sure that you also have identifiable musical elements as well that also carry that pattern recognition, that have riffs, that have underlines and underlicks that are actually identifiable when people turn on the song. It's not just any other song when it comes on. Yes, you do, Atlas. It's a paid service. It's a paid consultation. Coolerone, good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. If you want to submit music, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. But you have this really nice like D sharp minor over the D sharp minor, even though it's over the B, right? That little line that you have on the guitar, again, it's a really good identifiable instrumental hook as well. So as soon as the song comes on and I hear that guitar hook, I immediately know what the song is, whose song it is, and who to attribute it to, instead of this just being any other song that you could possibly listen to. So, and again, that's just an encouragement to anyone out there. If you're producing your own music or working with producers, Laura Lynn, thank you for the TikTok. Make sure that you have instrumental hooks as well. Every song that you love has an identifiable sound to it, where you turn it on, you're like, oh, I know exactly what this is. So whether that's a sample, whether it's a production line, whether it's something that's played melodically or it's a vocal line, there's something about it instrumentally, not just the hook of the song vocally, that is something that's identifiable to you. Make sure you have that within your own music as well. People love to listen to it, but then they forget to do it in their own music. And it's obviously very it's a vital piece of the puzzle. Okay, and this is a great example of that, over that over the F sharp major line that you have at the top there.
Did Picasso find a savior and I could save you if you just learn to be in light of all this. Every soft beat never felt so refined. It started conversations innocent, 'cause that's all.
Beautiful positioning on those doubles as well. You get a great double track of those of the high octave. Beautiful positioning right there. They add some energy to the song without taking over the mix, which I think is beautifully done. Again, you're working with some great engineers. There's some parts to this, just personally speaking, every engineer has a different perspective. Even the best, I say this all the time, you could send the same track out in multi-track to 5 different Grammy-winning engineers and get 5 different mixes back. Everyone has a different perspective on how they would mix something. This is just mine. There's some parts of it where I wish the kind of mid-instrumentation was a little bit more subdued when it was just your vocal. Like even like here on this first verse. Because this is fully open and it's since that's like fully open, to me, it steps a little bit on the toes of the lead, just barely. It steps on the toes of the lead just a little bit. There's a part of me, again, it's strictly just personal preference, that kind of wishes like maybe that guitar, at least for like your A section of this verse, was like filtered down maybe a little bit, or even like sampled down an octave or something like that. Kind of got it out of the way of that lead vocal just a little bit. To me, it's kind of right there in the middle, competing for melodics and like competing for frequency space with that lead vocal. It's mixed really well. I mean, it's a great mix. It's a very vibrant mix. It's powerful. It's done really, really well with the context of what you have in the mix. But I do wish that potentially that was down just a little bit, an octave down, filter down, cut off a little bit lower, something like that, in order to leave some space for that vocal to sit right there. Otherwise, that guitar line in that frequency pocket is kind of filled the whole time. You don't ever really get a break from that energy. It's like it's all in and there's a lot of energy there right off the bat. So I think it would be nice to leave a little bit more space for that vocal to live. Cool. Thank you so much for the lightning. I appreciate it. It'd be nice to have a little bit of space for that vocal to live before introducing more of that energy. Maybe on like a B section, you open up the filter, or B section, you jump the octave again. I think it would be nice to give it just a bit of space to kind of let it live in its moment. Thank you for the golden boxing gloves. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for the follow as well, Tricky. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go a little bit further here. But the actual performance, I think, is great. The actual production structure, I think, is great. Hacksaw, thank you for the follow. Overall, I think it's a really fantastic mix. It's really, really well done. Your vocal performance, I think, is great. It's confident. It's doing everything that it's supposed to do. Just like a quick little note there. And again, also a taste thing.
Never felt so refined. It started conversations innocent.
Great doubles again.
We could be. I can slide for someone going for my neck, and that's on me. Every time we're at the
Again, there's your vocal. Like that, great vocal hook there, bouncing between those A and B melodies right there. That's awesome, man. So good. It's gonna make it so catchy. What's up, Chambers? So welcome in. Yeah, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details. Great high octave.
I needed forevermore.
What's up, John? Welcome in.
I needed someone you're not.
I could also appreciate, going back through this kind of the second time here, I can also appreciate the desire for noise and intensity and tension right here as well, where you have, again, like a lot of fuzz. It's very, very overdriven. It's also very like forward in the middle, right? It is split. Like you do have some stereo imaging here, but it is like very, very forward in the mix. What I like about that, it is very much so taking the place of your lead element of your vocal. In the, like, if you go from like the verse or like your pre, what you would call a pre here, into your hook, it's really, really well done, where you have background guitar sitting and controlling a lot of your like movement right there, with a lead vocal way at the top, right? A very forward lead vocal with great doubles and stacks. And then you just trade energy. It's a great example of that, where all of a sudden the vocal takes a backseat and you have dun 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 dun. You have these little like vocal samples in the background that are now filling in, while the guitar takes like a major center. It's very loud. The guitar takes a major center stage right there as your lead element. Thank you for the heart me, tricky. Tricky. Thank you for the heart me. But you switch energy right there, which I think is beautifully done. That's a great example of making sure that lead energy is always taken care of, so that when the vocal leaves the mix and you just go back to the guitars, it doesn't feel like you're like missing all of the energy in the mids. You've traded energy and pushed the vocals forward for their riff now, which I think is it's really, really nicely done. It's pretty open. It's a short live today. Pretty short live today. Also, great ability to hold energy in that vocal in the mix while a lot of noise is happening. Dun, 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 dun. All of that energy right there is incredibly vibrant. It's very, very forward, but the engineers have done a great job in like tasteful mid-side processing to like wrap that vocal around that vocal. It's just kind of right around the outside of the vocal, and that vocal still holds its space. It still holds its own in the mix, even though it's an octave higher. It's backed off the mic a little bit. It's highly compressed. You hear it kind of restraining a little bit. You can still maintain some clarity and like separation for that vocal while there's like a really loud lead guitar riff happening. That's good engineering. That's good. I mean, it's noisy and it's loud, but that's good engineering. Like that's not a very easy thing to do. Or at the very least, I don't hear a lot of amateur engineers that are able to do that in a way that feels very cohesive. That's really shining right there. This is great, man. Beautiful. Great job producing this, man. Great job. All right, let me get into this last section here, y'all. Please show some. Bren is over on the Red app. They're over on YouTube right now. Please show some love to Bren. Absolutely killing it, man. This is his first time self-producing for one of his records. This comes out, I think he said Friday, right? I think it comes out this week or next week. Yeah, great. The fact that this is one of your first tracks ever self-producing, it's very impressive. Very, very impressive, man. Let's get in this little section here. Good dynamics. Nice. It's Bren. It's Bren Music. They're over on another platform right now. Super talented art. We've heard a couple songs on that. Oh, fan, welcome in. They're a very, very talented artists. Bren, if you feel like it, hop on over to TikTok. So some people are showing love over there. If you want, thank you for the heart me. If you want to make yourself known over there, so they can follow you as well.
I needed someone you know.
What's up, Singapore? Welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. There's Bren right there. Bren right there is the artist. Great job, man. Y'all, give it up one time. Give it up one time. That is the family, Bren. Bren, I love what you do, man. This is a release. Remind me really quick on whatever platform you want to. Elfan, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that a lot. And also, thank you for the heart means. I appreciate that a lot. Show some love to Bren. They're right there in the chat. Bren they're right there in the chat. Bren, let everybody know, because they might not have seen it on this platform, when the song comes out, where they can find it, and where they can find more stuff from you. Bren's the family. Bren, I love what you do. You're creative. You're interesting. You've got a powerhouse vocal. You really do have an amazing, amazing voice in many different styles, many different genres. I can hear the versatility in what you're doing. Obviously, coming from, some more of a pop punk rock, space. The fact that you're able to work so cohesively in a bit more of an alternative or even hyperpop, genre, and be so flexible with your vocal structure, it's really impressive. Also, being that this is your first time producing fully for one of your released records, I think that's absolutely amazing. You should be very, very proud of the work that you're putting in, man. All props to you all. Please show some love to Bren. This track comes out on Friday, so be on the lookout when it comes out, and even the tracks that you already see out on platforms that maybe they've put out, go show some love to them. Make sure that you listen to them, stream them, add them to playlists, like the track, follow them on DSPs, so on and so on. Show them some love and support. Hacksaw Aber, that would love to submit a song, but I only have Chime. I'm not sure exactly how that works. All of our payment methods are the ones that are listed. Those are the only ones that I can take, because they all funnel to the same place, and I can keep everything organized. You're able to use, credit and debit cards and stuff like that there, if that's what I think Chime maybe is something like that. But all of that is listed out there. If y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. If you scroll down, you'll see all the different payment methods. Maybe you're able to use that on one of those. I'm not positive exactly how Chime works, but hopefully we're able to facilitate it there, because you can use just cards and stuff like that if it's a little bit easier. But y'all show some up to Bren. Let's keep it moving. We got a couple more tracks here. I'm only taking a handful, so if you want to submit now, will be the time to do it. We got Laura Lynn in the building. Laura Lynn, I've got your email right here, so let me get this downloaded really quick. And sounds good. I appreciate you so much. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate you being here. If y'all are submitting, just keep an eye out on the line that's on the other platforms that we're live on. If you go to Twitch or YouTube, you can see the line over there. You can see how many songs we have left. You can see the order. You can see the minimum, so on and so on. We only got a handful of tracks today, so we're going to keep it moving at a good pace today so we can get to as many of y'all as possible. We got Laura Lynn in the building. Let's get it. This is Since You Stepped Off. We're getting it saved right now, and then I'll read through the email really quick. It is AI vocals. The lyrics are 99% mine, and then I'm assuming polished and kind of finished out with the rest of the lyrics there to make it fit. But I don't know. I have other songs, but I don't know which to send. But can I come up in the chat? We don't bring on guests right now. There's a myriad of reasons for it. We don't bring guests onto the live stream right now. But if you have any other questions, you can obviously drop them here in the chat, or add some other nuance and details into the email if you want. Or if it's easier to chat on the other platforms, sometimes they allow you to put a little bit more information in there as well. Okay, let's get into it. Hovey, if you want to see the line, go to the other platforms that we're live on. Red app, purple app, YTT. You can find those at my link as well if you go to my profile. But we're live on those other platforms as well, and the line is always up on the screen. You can see how many tracks we have left. You can see the minimum. You can see the order and everything there. And y'all can move around at any point. You can go faster. You can take your time, whatever it looks like. It is an AI song called Since You Stepped Off. It's based on a son whose dad walked up. Okay, so you said AI vocals, lyrics are 99% yours. Where's the production from? Just let me know that much. I got it downloaded here. I'll probably be able to hear pretty quickly too. So it's a generated production too.
Door shut hard that day. Your coat left on the hook. Mama sat real still. Like
it happens. People send it in. Usually to talk about songwriting. Or wait, why am I hurting? Yeah, the production is generated. Production is generated for sure. I have no talent for music, but I write stories and just start. Okay, let me know too, Lauren, because again, the way that we structure this here, because again, we're spending like 30 minutes breaking this down. We're spending like 30 minutes breaking it down. So let me know what your goal is, because I always like I mentioned before you sent it in too. I want to know how I can best help you as far as maybe like positioning you to work with some people to get this made, positioning you to collaborate with people that will allow you to kind of bring these ideas to life in a way that's a little bit more viable or has more commercial opportunity, or whatever it may be. Let me know how I can best help you in facilitating your growth with the song and facilitating what would be best for the way that you build this out. I'm obviously mainly looking at songwriting structure because that's the only thing you'll have as much control over, right? Like there's no real point in talking about mix and stuff like that. So I'm going to put a lot of that on the shelf. The main thing I want to address is songwriting, phrasing, stuff like that you can actually work on, stuff like that you can actually kind of build out and work with people on. Songs. I think it may be, what's up, Miranda? Thank you for the heart, me. I think it might have blocked one of your previous comments. Taking my songwriting to another. Okay, the songwriting we can dive into, right? Because obviously when the majority of things are generated, we have to kind of hone in on like what's the thing that we have control over that we can kind of dig into and actually get into the nuances of here.
I was small, but I saw.
Let me back it up here.
Door shut hard that day. Your coat left on the hook. Mama sat real still, like she forgot to look. I was small, but I saw how the room went cold. So I grabbed my little courage and I made myself bold.
I wrote a short story about my dad. I feel you. Okay, I feel you. Pinteras, what's up?
When the house felt heavy, I kept my hands to work, cause somebody had to stay and love it through the hurt. I'll step up tonight, I'll be the man. Since you stepped off, I got this plan. I'm more that young. Take out the trash, take it out. Bring back the milk for us to have. I'll step up tonight, I'll be the
Thank you for the finger heart and the rose. I appreciate that. I agree, y'all. I agree. Sounds good, Craig. Sounds good. I appreciate that.
I pushed that mower slow across that barren yard. Sweat on my t-shirt. This really ain't that hard. Then the screen door squeaked. Mama said my name, handed me a tea and said, boy, you're a good man. I fixed the hinge on the frame, I fixed the leak in the pipe, I fixed the switch for that light. When the porch went dark at night,
That's true, Time Mine. That's true.
Shadow, I got my own 2 feet, cause every broken thing here still got a family. I'll step up tonight, I'll be the man. Since you stepped off, I got this plan. I'll mow that yard, take out the trash, take it out, bring back the milk for us to have. I'll step up tonight, I'll be the man. Since you stepped off, I took your place. Fix what breaks and hold this home. Hold this. I'll stand right up when you stepped off. Yeah. Mama, don't you worry, I won't let this fade.
Okay, cool.
Sis, keep your chin high, we gonna be okay. I may be a son, but
Silex, welcome in.
learned the part. A man is what he gives when he stays and guards the heart out. I'll step up tonight, I'll be the man. Since you stepped off, I got
Thank you for the heart, me.
I'm all that yard. Take out the trash, take it out, bring back the milk for us to have. I'll step up tonight, I'll be the man. Since you stepped off, I took your place. Fix what breaks and hold this home. Hold this. I'll stand right up where you stepped off.
Yeah, it's AI. All right, y'all, show some love. Show some love. That is, oops, where'd the song go? Where'd the song go? Yeah, original artist music only. or music that you've been a part of. So some people have been session musicians on songs or producers on songs. They engineered a record that they want to showcase, or they want some like tips and stuff on. So just music that or even we've had labels come in, or agents come in, managers come in to promote their artists or put their artists in here and try to learn a little bit about it. As long as it's music that you are a part of, music that you have played a role in creating or getting out there, that is largely, let's thank you for the follow, that is largely the structure of the stream. These are 20 to 30 minute consultations. It's not a quick review. This is not just like a fast play and then we move on. I say, get a better mix, bro, have better energy, and then move on. Each of these consultations that we do are about 20 to 30 minutes long per song. We listen multiple times through the song to really get into the nuances and the details of, the mix and master, production, sound design, lyric, and song structure. It's different for everybody because everybody has a different reason why they're here. So what we break down is going to be different for everybody. But if you want to submit, go to my profile. Actually, you can see Libby pinned profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details there. Let me just update something real quick because I need to. Is this the same person? That is the same. I think that is the same person. Yes, it is. Hacksaw Heathen. I got you. Sorry, I saw the different platforms. Wait, hold on. Is this the same person? Hacksaw Heathen. I got you. We'll be closing the line here in just a little bit, y'all. So just keep that in mind. Keep your eye out on the line. It's on the other platforms that we're live on. Let's see. Let's get this going, and then we're going to dive into this. And we're mainly going to focus on song structure, phrasing. We're gonna Miraj. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Good to see you. Hacksaw Heathen. I got you. Actually, I want to make sure that because artist names are spelled a little bit different sometimes. Okay. I thought it said Heather at first. Hacksaw Heather, but it's not Hacksaw Heather. Okay. I got you on the different platforms. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I promise to always do my best. Promise to always do my best to be as helpful and informative as I can. Am I able to get in before it's over for the, yeah. For sure. That'll put you next currently speaking. Okay, let's get into it. Keep in mind, y'all, that the song that we are currently hearing, every once in a while, people will send in AI. It happens, right? Obviously, there's no getting around AI. AI is everywhere. It is a part of the ether of the music industry right now. So it does happen every once in a while. In this case, we have someone who is sending in, it's largely their lyrics, and then generated production and vocals, of course. So when people do that, our focus shifts, right? The focus shifts away from mix details and production elements to formatting, phrasing, vocal lines, lyric structure, and stuff like that. This is a different perspective. And then also, depending on the wants and needs of the artist, the person that is submitting their music, talking about how we can facilitate these records in a creative way, in an interesting way, and collaborating with people and getting these records to actually really come to life and have the connection that we want them to have, right? So every time someone sends in something like this, it really just comes down to listening to the person and understanding their perspective on what they're doing and why they're doing it, and then hopefully pointing them in a direction that allows this to be as fulfilling of a process as possible when it comes to them writing poetry, writing lyrics, and working with people and stuff like that. Okay, let's get into it. Let me update a few things here. Let me go back to the file and let's dive into it. So there's a couple little things. This is in, if I'm hearing correctly, I believe it's in B flat minor. Since you stepped off, let's dive into it. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah. Yep, B flat minor. Okay, so let's dive into a couple things here, and then we can talk about some potential ways to get this out there. Let me also say too, as far as, but yes, I have no desire to be famous as a singer. I want to be the guy in the background as a writer. Okay, the best way, and I promise you, the best way that you can do that. Hacksaw, I got you. Hacksaw, you are up there. You're ready to go. I appreciate you so much. And oh, that's Isaac. I know. Okay, Hovey, I got you. Hacksaw Heathen, you're on the board. You're ready to go. I didn't realize that's a different name. I didn't even realize it was you, man. I didn't even realize it was you. You snuck in. I got you. Let me get you up on the board. I appreciate you so much, man. It's good to see you in here. Sorry, it's been a minute. I didn't recognize the name. Okay. Rebranding. Let's go. Okay, cool. I was like, wait, Hovey. And I can't see the profile picture from this song as well, or from this far as well. I got you on the board. Board should be updated. Okay. As far as, because this is a lot of people's question with generated music. I would say 80% of the time, the goal with the people then they're writing lyrics, potentially writing lyrics and writing poetry and stuff like that and then generating a song. And the goal for like 80% of people that I've talked to, some they're just like, I'm just doing this and I want to have fun and it's a way for me to get my idea out there. Cool. 80% of the people that at least come through this live stream and we talk and break down music, their goal is for someone else to sing their songs. Like one of their goals is that they want people, they want to be able to like pitch this to artists. Christopher, they gave you the follow, or Chris, thanks for the follow. So I can't see from this far. They want to be able to pitch it to artists and get other people to sing their songs. From someone who has worked in that space, who has done collaborative songwriting and has had a small publishing deal in a songwriting space and who has worked in these environments, you are far more likely to have that happen if you have a true demo of the song that's not too far along. The problem with practice, I'm not speaking currently, at least from a moral perspective or an ethics perspective on AI, right? From a practical standpoint with AI, oftentimes, simply on a live review, so I use AI as a tool to share my 100%. It's valid. That's valid. That's fine. From a strictly practical standpoint, if you give an artist, oftentimes, Joel, your last comment got banned by TikTok. I can't see it. All I see is if it's a wild question. That's all I see. So based on the fact that it didn't come through, I'm gonna assume yes. I'll give you an answer. It's probably a wild question because your comment got banned. You are much more likely to actually work with an artist on your song. As a question about as a musician, how much? Okay, let me finish this out really quick. You are much more likely to get someone that actually is going to want to work in your song if there's space for them in the song. The problem with people, one of the problems with people that are using AI to create their demos is they've created then a like perspective on the song that's complete, right? I'm hearing this song and it's got, loosely mixed harmonies and stacked vocals and it's tuned and they're doing crazy vocal runs and it's very stylistically complete and like practically complete in this format. It's difficult in a space like that to like actually leave space for an artist to even want to enter that equation, right? Because odds are, from a practical standpoint, from like an amateur vocalist or songwriter who's going to want to get on this song or like buy the song and work with you and split points and stuff like that, right? Like they're going to like offer points and like work and build it out. It can be really challenging when you have this like, especially with generated stuff, this like crazy vocal. Who's going, they're doing crazy, not like that. They're doing crazy runs. They're going nuts. They're doing all this crazy stuff. And they're like, okay, well, I'm like a normal vocalist and I kind of like the song, but like, I'm not even going to like I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? It can be a little bit too far gone. If you're offering people sometimes hyper perfected, as AI is, hyper perfected music, has its issues sonically, obviously with a lot of just the aliasing, high frequency saturation, stuff like that. It has a lot of its issues, right? But like practically speaking, right? My suggestion, especially with a song like this, right? B flat minor. It's just the B flat minor. And D sharp, right? So you have this. It's just a B flat minor to the D sharp minor. What I would do is I would find two people. Get someone with an electric guitar. There's about 2 billion of them out there. Get someone with an electric guitar or an acoustic guitar. And then find someone who can sing decently. And have them do a demo of the song that's stripped back that people can hear themselves on. Whether they want to take it for themselves and you sell it to them, or you build out a proper, simple, basic demo of the song. This is just an electric guitar rocking between a B flat minor and an E flat minor is the easiest thing in the world to do, right? Because again, right now, trying to pitch this to someone on a live stream or even just like cold email and be like, hey, I've created this with AI. Here's my story. Here's my whatever. There's an immediate wall right there. And then there's this huge gap between like it's seeming rudimentary and early because it's generated and everyone has their perspective on that. And then they have this hyper polished product of this crazy vocalist and all these crazy things that are very difficult to do in like real music, right? So I think there's this huge gap right there as opposed to just presenting someone like, hey, let me find a halfway decent guitarist and a halfway decent vocalist to just do the structure of the song, it's way easier to pitch that to someone and be like, oh, I can 100% hear myself on the song. I could definitely sing those real vocal lines. And then they'll be like, oh, and I actually know someone who like plays synth and plays piano. I can actually get my buddy to play piano on that. And you can start to build out a real song from this, as opposed to being like so late in the process because it's complete and you have no editing, or very little control over your editing, that it's like way farther along than anyone will ever. I've quite literally never seen it work of someone who's like pitched it and it's been successful when it's that far. Right. So my suggestion for you is like, take this song structure, take some details of the song structure and take a couple steps back and just start simple. Don't feel like you need to take this and be like, okay, I guess I need to like hire a brass section and like a Grammy winning saxophonist to do the solo at the end. And like, John Mayer has to be on the song now on the guitar. You don't have to do that. That's what AI is going to do. That's what it's going to generate. You don't have to do that. You can start really, really simple and start really, really basic and build slowly and build a structure that's actually like palatable by a musician and a vocalist that might actually be able to see themselves and picture themselves on your record. Does that make sense? Is that like a little bit helpful? A little bit helpful? Okay. So that might be better to share than a full. I had another song where I pulled off the melody and just the vocals. So, I mean, kind of still the same concept, no matter how you're building your production. That's still the same concept, is I would take these ideas for yourself, right? Take this idea for yourself. And instead of pitching it to the end, pitch it to demo creators, right? Because again, I've been in music for a very, very long time. I've never seen it work. Never. In the history of AI being a thing, I've never seen it work where the finished, oh, we appreciate you, the finished AI demo, no matter how you build it, going straight to the artist has worked. Very, very rare. The only time that does like worked a little bit is where I have recreated, like as a producer and a session musician, I've recreated people's tracks or some loose variations of it in order for them to be able to own their production and stuff like that. I've worked in that a little bit. But as far as like going from AI demo to artist sale, I've never seen that work. What I think you should do is allow the generation to bring your personal idea to life, right? Like, okay, I have this poetry, I have these lyrics, I can't sing, I can't play an instrument. I'm going to create the demo for myself loosely, so then I can pitch it to someone who can create the demo. Like, you're creating some middlemen here a little bit, but I'm going to start working closely with like a couple musicians. You don't have to have a whole band. You don't have to work with crazy producers and spend thousands of dollars, which I know is the limitation for a lot of people. I'm going to try to like find like a small team. Like, let me find an acoustic guitar player and a vocalist. And with those two people, we're gonna write out a contract. We're gonna make an agreement, and we're gonna say like, hey, I'm gonna come up with a bunch of ideas. I want y'all to create demos, and we're going to ship this out to people, and we're gonna do splits on everything. Like, it's a little bit of sweat equity. We're gonna create a ton of songs, a ton of beautiful music. Y'all are gonna start creating some demos. We're gonna get it out here. We're gonna take splits on everything. If there's sync fees, we're splitting everything. If there's publishing, there's mechanicals, we're splitting everything. We're gonna make that make sense, right? But then you have like control over it. You're building with some people. There's better collaboration and creativity. Someone else in that circle will be like, hey, well then if we're going to do this guitar line here, let's change that lyric. You can start to actually feed off of each other. That's way more palatable as like a creative, and for someone who's going to be pitching to artists to have a little bit more control over what you're doing. I'm going to be back up here a little bit. JCB, thank you for the follow. I appreciate the line. And I will update the line here in just a second. I saw a couple come in. You could decline to answer, but I can see where they're curious. Or just someone concerning, sorry, I'm backwards on comments here. Give me a sec. Or just someone considering beginning their journey. Give me 1 second. TikTok keeps kicking me down. Asked a question about your musician and how much you could make. Or just someone considering beginning their journey. Okay, hold on. Sorry. TikTok keeps kicking me down. I think the question was like loosely like, is it kind of like what do you tell people about the like potential to make money in music? Is that kind of the loose question? Let me while I'm looking for that potentially, let me get this line updated just really, really quick, and then we'll get back into it. Josue, I got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, that's Miraj. I got you. We got you. Thank you so much. So Miraj and Carolyn. And then we're going to close the line, y'all. We're going to close the line. Okay. So give me 1 second. me just get this updated. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. And then we'll, boom. Carolyn, I got you. And then Miraj, I got you. Miraj, I got you. Perfect. Just trying to double check the names between everyone here too. Okay. All right, line's already pretty full. Okay. All right. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. TikTok is I'm sorry, y'all. TikTok is blocking a lot of comments. It's blocking a lot of comments. I'm seeing a lot of, I keep scrolling back to see. I keep on, what's up, Seb? I keep seeing like the last part of someone's comment. I keep seeing the last part of someone's comment. Yeah, and if y'all want to submit, we're pretty full. We're pretty full now, and I'll have a ton of time. So I'll try to get through these at a decent pace here. But okay, let's keep this rolling. So leave them rough so there's an appeal to improve. Exactly. So like, it's a lot harder. Like, and I've listened to. I'm gonna lie, your vibes are gonna like Americans. Thank you, Seb. I appreciate that. I wish all Americans had great vibes. We're not on that. Yeah. I'm very grateful for you saying that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you tapping in. Okay, let me see. Let me double check some things here. Yeah. So I wish they were all like great and kind, generous people. That'd be amazing. Of course, I think that about anyone, anywhere. I think it makes for a better place to be. Okay, so let's get a little deeper into this. I mainly now want to just focus on the hook, and then we're going to move on. All right. So for me, it's like if you present someone with the final thing, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. So start a little bit simpler and leave some space for the artist to get on there, even in your early demos and stuff like that. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Let me get into this last hook, because the hook to me is kind of the main thing here, lyrically, and then we'll move on.
What breaks and hold it, don't you worry.
Hold on.
On the gate, I learned to fix, and I made myself bold. I learned to lock on the gate. I learned to fix the scene. I learned to carry the bags and not to stop and think. When the house felt heavy, I kept my hands to work, 'cause somebody had to stay and love it through the hurt. I'll step up tonight. I'll be the man. Since you stepped off, I got this plan.
Okay, so here's the last thing that I'll say, right? So I think for the main thing, it allows you to take a little bit of a breather and reestablish how you approach your music, right? If that makes a little bit of sense, like how we're approaching this and how you want to actually position yourself to get your message heard, get your story heard. Thank you for the follow. And I want that. I want your story heard. I want your message to actually reach people. And that's what I want to kind of facilitate for you, and hopefully that's helpful. From a lyrical standpoint, so here's the last thing we say, and then I'll move on to the next song. Last thing from a lyrical standpoint, one thing that I want you to focus on is being slightly less direct with the exact story and the exact intention behind your lyrics. And Tony, they give you the follow. Try to get a little bit more creative and a little bit more nuanced with how you set the scene and the world building of your song, so it doesn't feel too much like I'm just saying the thing at you. Thank you for the heart, me, y'all. I appreciate that. You're not saying the exact thing. One tool, there's a couple different tools that you can use. What's up, Jenna? A couple tools that you can use that can help facilitate this. One is object writing, and one is peripheral writing. Okay, so object writing, 100%, and sometimes direct works. Sometimes direct works when you're like, I'll step up, and so you're saying I'll step up, which is fine. Like your first leading line, I think is fine. That gives you kind of like an early punchline of your hook, right? I'll step up since you stepped off, right? That's where you're able to kind of like complete a little bit punchline in your A section of this hook right here. From there on, you kind of just get into describing exactly how. So you're just like, I'll step up, and you're just like, I'll take out the trash. I'll do the dishes. I'll drive the car. I'll do, like it becomes very strict and descriptive and very kind of rigid in the way that you're approaching those descriptors right there. It feels a lot like that's not necessarily how you would communicate with someone, right? Like that feels a lot less conversational and a lot less nuanced. So a lot of what we're kind of looking at here is like, you give us a punchline right off the bat. I'll step up, and then you start listing off very, very descriptively of just like exactly what that would be. I would love a little bit more poetry in there and a little bit more abstract and a little bit more nuanced into like what that feels like and what that means and the tension behind why it matters so much that you're doing that, less than just like the practical aspects of how I'm going to do that. Okay. So object writing is a great tool, right? And anytime that people talk about like issues with songwriting, or they talk about like limitations or like writer's block and stuff like that. I don't believe in writer's block. It just means you don't have tools to inspire you, right? So if you feel like I'm getting blocked or I feel limited, like you said, I'm a very direct person, so that comes naturally to me. Sometimes if you're very, very direct, it can be difficult to add fluff to a song. You know what I mean? Like I'm very direct, I'm very forward. It can be difficult to add nuance. And then there's other people like I'm so foo-foo and I'm so up in the clouds and so creative and poetic that I can't create a grounding lyric if I try to. You know what I mean? Both are not ideal for songwriting. You want things that are like grounded and interesting and relatable to people, but also like not so like I ate breakfast this morning and it was cereal. That's not like a great lyric, but there's maybe a way to like dig into the structure of that to paint a scene of what it's like to have breakfast alone for the first time, right? After someone's passed, whatever it may be, right? Those are two very different scenarios of just like describing what happened and setting a scene in a world that elicits emotion for people, right? So those are the things that I want you to focus on. Those two tools, and then we'll get out of here. We'll move to the next song. Nash, thank you for the follow. The thing that I want you to focus on, one is object. I have a video on object writing on my YouTube. I'm not trying to plug it. That's just where I have a video for it. If you want to check that out, I don't have one on peripheral writing. I need to make one. I have a bunch of videos I need to make. But object writing is a tool that allows you to unleash your vocabulary around a subject using random word generators in order to elicit a very, very specific response. It just unlocks nuanced vocabulary around subjects, and the subjects are random. It could be wall, fence, string, cup, mug, case, whatever. It's literally anything. It's a random word generator. Look up the video for that. Again, you can find it at my link. If you go to that YouTube channel, you can find it. That will be a huge tool in getting you out of the strict mold of songwriting and getting into much more nuanced songwriting. Now, peripheral songwriting is when you set a subject matter for a song, a detailed subject matter for the song, and then you have to write completely outside of those lines, but pointing to that subject matter, right? So just as an example, the subject matter could be falling out of love. Okay, let's say that's the subject matter, falling out of love. You have to write some poetry, write a song, write a lyric, whatever, without addressing at all falling out of love, right? And this is a tool. This is not necessarily what's going to write the song. Right? It's not about like just writing the song with this. It's a tool to train you to get out of being too on the nose, too direct and too pointed with your lyrics. Where if every song is like, if you're like, okay, I'm going to write a song. It's like, I'm falling out of love. And then you start the song with, I'm falling out of love. And every song is like, it's always right on the nose. Then it's like, okay, I'm too direct with what's happening. I need to find a way to like paint a picture. You know what I mean? I need to start being a little bit more nuanced with my creative structure. But if I keep saying like in this case, the song is about someone's walked out, right? Like someone's walked out, or it's about you stepping up when someone has stepped off. If that's the core, right? If you're doing peripheral writing, what peripheral writing would mean is like, okay, the song is about someone stepped off, so I'm stepping up. That means in the song, you can't touch that, right? It forces you to be creative. It forces you to kind of paint outside the lines a little bit and paint a picture that's not too direct, because you can never mention stepping up or stepping off. You have to move around it a little bit. Those two tools, peripheral writing and object writing, for me, have been like life-changing tools to getting out of like your like forward pointed on the nose lyric structure. It just opens up a new world of opportunities because you're not so tied to those like exact words and phrases and stuff like that. I hope that's a little bit helpful. I don't have any info or like videos on peripheral writing, but object writing, I do have a video on there. So is this like hinting at something and letting the listener figure a little bit? It's a balance, right? A little bit of that, right? Like I said, it's like instead of saying like, I had breakfast alone, right? Like, I had breakfast alone. You know, that's like, okay, kind of like an odd lyric, but it's like, but if you shifted that into, getting into, I'm gonna paint a different picture, but like instead of saying I had breakfast alone and it made me really sad, that's very direct, right? That's like kind of obvious, right? Yeah, exactly. If you're more along the lines of like, I heard the refrigerator, refrigerator made a noise as I left it open, lost in my own thoughts. Like, coffee stained tablecloth shows me da 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 da. It's like you're painting a picture. I want to see the world. All of that is to tell you that like a depressed person is having breakfast alone, right? You know what I mean? Like, exactly, Wønder. Like, it's like all of that. Again, I'm bullshitting some stuff and just making some stuff up. Like, all of that is to paint a picture of here's a depressed person who is having breakfast alone when that's not something that they're used to, right? This is something that's different and changed about their life. But if I just said, I'm having breakfast alone because you left and I'm hurt and I hate you, fuck you. Like, this is a little too direct. It's a little too on the nose. I'm joking a little bit, but you get the idea. If I can paint a picture, if I can set a scene where we feel the emotion of the lyric rather than you just like telling us how it is. I'll take out the trash. I'll do this. I'll do this. If you could, I have one of those songs. We all have some of those songs, right? That are a little bit too direct. We've all been there. That's a part of the songwriting process. You write a million songs and like 12 of them are actually ending up good. Like, I think that's what I want you to focus on is how can we move around these subjects and paint a picture rather than say, I'm stepping up. Here's how I'm going to step up. I'll take out the trash. I'll drive the kids to soccer practice. I'll do this thing, whatever it is. If I list too strictly like that, there's no imagination and there's no nuance. And I would love to get more of the emotion in the picture. That's going to be way easier also to pitch to other artists as well. Y'all show some love. Show some love. That is, yeah, exactly. Like there is a time and place. There's a time and place for like the simplicity of lyric structure too, right? Like, like I will always love you. Right? Like there's songs like that. Now, I will say something has to be impressive about the music, right? Like so if you're going to say, and I will always love you, if that's your song and that's ultra simplistic in its expression, you better be very talented. You better be very talented and earnest in your performance to back it up. So that something has to, whether the storytelling, the imagery, the environment, the world building has to be impressive. The musical structure needs to be impressive and inspiring and fun to listen to. And or your skill as someone to interpret that and put it out there has to be wildly impressive. There's most of the very simple songs that you'll hear out there, especially 70s, 80s, 90s, even earlier on. Like they're like wildly impressive to perform. And that gives you some space because then you feel the earnesty. Yeah, exactly. Like you'll get the earnesty and the structure there. I love it. Y'all show some love to Lauren. I appreciate you so much. I'm going to keep it rolling. We got Hovey in the building. Hovey, talk me through what's going on here. This is a different name. I know Hovey under a different name. So let's get it actually quickly. Let me update a few things here really quick. Let me see. And then Carolyn, I got you. And Carolyn, it moves by 5, just so you know. Sorry, I'm updating some things here. I appreciate you so much, Lauren. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Carolyn, yeah, keep in mind, I got that 5. But it goes by 5. So the one, otherwise I would spend the whole live going 1, 50 cents at a time, $1 at a time. So it's 5 at a time. So let me know if you want to add, I think 4, right? Oh, that's you. Sorry, I'm looking at different screens. I think I have a different name on here. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I have a different name. So I think I have, let me see. I got you. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I get confused. I see so many different names. So I got the 5 on there, and if you end up adding, I'll update that here in a second. Let me go ahead and get to Hovey's so I can keep it rolling, and then I'll update yours here in just a minute as well. Add 4, perfect. I got you. Hovey's is already, I think, 10 ahead, so I'm gonna jump into his so I can keep it rolling, and then you'll be set. I know you gotta run fairly quickly, so I'll try to be more concise. I gotta get out of here too. So okay, song is still in progress, but would love to hear mixing tips. This is Hovey in the building. Hovey, update me. I think I did see a message up here. Songs not done, just want help in the direction of mixing and whatever else. Okay, yeah. Update me in the chat as well on the direction of your music, Hovey, and the role that you're playing in it. Let me know. Just because I know this is a different name. Is it a different production format? But yeah, let me and also let the chat know the role that you play in your music. But let's get into it. This is Wandering Eyes by Hovey. Got you, Wonder. Got you. I appreciate you so much. Let me get you updated. Cool. Perfect. So this is everything that I'm hearing here is Hovey. I appreciate you, Wonder. Thank you for that.
Relationships put you in a prison, babe, and they hold you so tight you can't even act right. You think I got wandering eyes, you think I got wandering eyes. Why'd you get me interested when you're not here? Now I deal with past hoes that haunt you still. No matter what I do, you don't believe it's real. Now you don't believe it's real. Now you don't believe it's real. I'm not one of the prisoners that held you in the past.
You dropped D, right?
Trying to show you love, but you push it right back. I'm not one of the prisoners that held you in the past. I was trying to show you love, but you push it right back. I hope you find peace and break the chains of your past. Yeah, I hope you find peace and break the chains of your past.
Time. Love me a Rhodes. Love me a Rhodes. Okay, that's a longer outro right there too. Okay, let's get it. Y'all show some love. I'm gonna move it at a good pace. I know Wonder has to go fairly quickly, so I'm gonna move it at a better pace through some of these. So I also have to hop off here in just a little bit as well. So we got our last couple tracks here. Keep in mind, and hopefully y'all read through all the details. You're supposed to. Hopefully y'all read through all the details there. But just in the case that anyone is left up on the board, I will be live again tomorrow for sure. I'm gonna be live again tomorrow. So if you get left up on the board, if you have to eat, sleep, work, leave for any reason, or I get off at the end of the night, then your name and your credit is always saved. You will never miss out on your chance to get heard. I will never listen without you. I'll always make sure that you're here for your breakdown. So just in case you don't get heard, keep that in mind. That's why I always have to list up on the other platforms. You can see how many we have left. You can see what the minimums are and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that updated as we go as well. But I'm going to close the line over here as well, since we're already getting towards that tail end here. So let me get that up. Boom. I made it bigger, so y'all hopefully can read it. People, I get more submissions once we close than ever during the live. So I don't know why. All right, line is closed. You can move through the line. You can update. You can go a little bit faster if you want to. That's up to you. But the line is closed to new people coming in. You're right on time, Tep. You're right on time. I'll be live again tomorrow, Tep. I'll be live again tomorrow, probably a little bit longer as well. Let's run it. This is Wandering Eyes from Hovey. Give me concise and real as usual. I got you. I got you. A lot of what I want to hear, because I like this kind of indie folk vibe that you're going here. I think it's really, really nice. And it's a pretty simple progression, largely D major, G major, kind of back and forth here. It's very simple in the way that you're presenting it. One of the things that I want to hear a little bit more of is consistency in the way that it's presented, from like timing of vocal layers, and there's plugins that can help with this, but even just, practically speaking, timing of vocal layers, positioning, even the playing of the acoustic guitar, tonal consistency, the Rhodes, as I love the Rhodes. It's such a beautiful, warm, beautiful instrument. I love it so much. I would love to get one in here if they weren't like $3,500. They sound amazing. It's one of my favorite instruments. So I love that it's there. I love that it exists. I would love some consistency in the way that it presents itself and then leaves the mix. Little things like that. But there's a lot that I love about what you've produced here. I just want to kind of polish it up a little bit. I still want it to be raw. I still want it to be, organic and feel loose in some ways. I don't want this to feel like a rigid pop record. It's not what it is. I still want it to feel really organic, but be polished enough that it's like palatable by people, and it will actually be able to compete on platforms. When people listen to it, it's not going to feel, just too open-ended. You know what I mean? I want to feel somewhat consistent. So let's run it back from the top. Let's dig into a couple things here pretty quickly. Not a ton. I mean, my computer is pretty beefy. I don't really notice any. My buffer weight is low enough. So even there, right? Small little, so this is, it's kind of like a D7, right? It's like a G7. So when you're moving through that, when you're going down, I don't know if you're open D, is this drop D for the guitar? If you're open on the D, be careful about like moving to the G and making sure that you're not still hearing D, A, D, F sharp A. Okay. So that being the case, be careful when you move to the G. So the chord kind of, don't have my 6th string on. Okay, got you. When you move to the G, just be careful that you don't stay open on some that are giving you like a clash between the two chords. Because there's sometimes I start feeling like I'm hearing like all of these notes at the same time as two different chords kind of compete for space. So little things like that. Again, playing consistency and making sure that when you move to the G, as kind of your second chord in here, that feels like it lives in its own space. And I still like that 7. I still like that 7. These two 7s work beautifully together. The D major 7 and the G major 7. They work really well together. Just make sure that you don't like open on the A, because I think a little bit of what I'm hearing is maybe the A string opening occasionally and that A string competing a little bit when you move to the G, because if the A string is open, these are the two notes that are hitting at the same time. You hear the tension, all that dissonance. Sometimes tension works and it's good. In this case, it's a little noisy, right? So for here, this is your D major or D major 7, that works. If I open A string, but then hit the G, I'm getting that. On the acoustic guitar with a strumming pattern, that sounds noisy. That sounds a bit busy. I play pretty loosey-goosey sometimes, so this makes total sense, 100%. And in your creative process, create loosey-goosey. You know what I'm saying? In your creative, when you're building, when you're creating, when you're just expressing, be raw with it. You know what I mean? Like be loose, be creative, be authentic. And then when it comes time to formulate the idea, be a little bit more surgical. So you're like, I have this picking pattern, I have this interesting tuning that I'm going to do. I don't have my top string. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in this really interesting way. Now it's time to take that idea and track it in a way that's like replicable and palatable by people, right? So I'm going to take that same structure and make it a little bit more concise, right? And it feels a little bit more tied together. That's what I'm looking for in the acoustic. Kind of for the whole song. So take this moment of like, reflection, I guess, and take it for the kind of copy and paste it for the whole song. There's a lot of moments where there's chord blending with open strings and it's kind of loose. I don't mind a little bit of loose. Just make sure the chords are at least separate and the open strums they make sense for the chord. The way the vocals come in, beautiful. I love it. Yeah, beautiful little double layer right there. Like it's got a really, really cool tone to it. I love your voice. Always have. Love your voice. You always have good writing and stuff too. So as that introduces yourself, I think it sounds beautiful. Sounds really, really nice. Besides that, I want the foundation of it to be really, really nuanced. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Past relationships put you in a prison, babe, and they hold you so tight. You can't even act right. You think I got ones for nice. You think I got ones for nice. Why'd you get me interested? I also wouldn't mind, let me see. I wouldn't mind if you slowed this down just a little bit. If you want to check the line is on the other platform. So go either to the red app or purple app. You can find it at my link. If you go check the line is always up over there. You can see how many tracks we have left, and you can see the order and minimums and stuff like that over there. I wouldn't mind if this was a little bit slower, as original demo is a little bit slower, because what I'm hearing, one is, of course, you can comp, right? If you're in I think he said Logic, maybe or something else, but you can comp a little bit. Oh, no, sorry, that was someone else. Comp a little bit better too, where you're not worried about like running out of breath and stuff like that. I would love to hear a little bit better control right there. Cakewalk. I love it. Cakewalk's great. If it works, it works. I wouldn't mind this like 6 BPM slower, like 6, you know what I mean? Like just a little bit instead of, it's kind of right in there. like just slowing that down by like 6 BPM, letting your voice settle, catch your breath a little bit, like just building a little bit more structure that allows you and the song and the production to breathe a little bit. Right now we're kind of bull rushing everything. And I think we can settle a little bit and just find our groove, allow the guitars to breathe a little bit better dynamic range, and then allows you to catch your breath and comp in without it feeling like you're in between each line and then doing like a run-on vocal take. That'll give you a little bit of support there. What mic is that? The K47. It's a Neumann M147 tube. Neumann M147 tube. I love it. If you ever have a chance to use one, I think they're fantastic. Awesome.
When you're not here, now I deal with past those that haunt you still. No matter what I do, you don't believe it's real. Now you don't believe it's real. Now you don't believe it's real.
Nice. Yeah, I know a lot of people that have those and they like them. Thank you for the follow. There's so much turnover from that vocal line and the repetition of the vocal line. Definitely, yeah, slowing it down like 6 to 8 BPM, bring it back under control, and you'll be in a good space. I'm a sucker for the 87. Hell yeah, I love the vintage. I'm not a huge fan of the modern AIs. A lot of people love them and use them. No shade in that. A lot of people love them and use them. The vintage AI is something special though. It's very, very warm and flat and even. It's a beast. The vintage U87 is fantastic.
One of the reasons that held you in the past, I was trying to show you love, but you push it right back. I hope you find peace and break the chains of your past. Yeah, I hope you find peace and break the chains.
Because what you're getting here is a lack of dynamic range too. I want to hear a little bit more of these movements, right? So again, I'm on piano, right? But for the sake of the example, I want to hear. Let me hear the verse for a second. It's a lot of the same. Okay, about 90% of this song is. It's right in that range. There's like 3 or 4 notes right in there. You know me, I don't mind repetition. Repetition's going to make it stick, but want people to enjoy it while it sticks as well, right? So in this context, I would love a couple moments of different register, like different range, different pacing, because we're getting a lot of the same, like D to G. We're getting a lot of the same progression, same pacing, same fast concept. We're getting a lot of the same melodic variations. And so I would love to compartmentalize this slightly. So I don't mind for a second if your hook is, let's see, like open it up, and then back, like that. That's like a good hook structure. You have a little break in lyric for a second. You get a little break in that rhythm, and then for your verses, we bring it back to "Won't you save my paradise?" And back to the 7, right? Like you can slow it down, bring down the dynamic, change the picking pattern to something that's a little bit more open, a little bit more dynamic, and then back to. You can open it back up again. I need to hear those different songs. I need to hear those different moments. Otherwise, it will become over repetitive. It will become monotonous, and I mean monotonous in the very literal sense of it, of like monotone, one note. You know what I mean? Of like it being a lot of the same register, same note and melodic structure, same rhythms and stuff like that. What if people do? No, they literally take it all the time. I don't care at all, Wonder. People take stuff all the time, and I hope they do. That's one of the reasons why I format it in this way, where it's like it is a paid consultation. It's the service that it is, and we format it this way do any and everything that y'all want to do. I don't care. I have had people. I don't expect this at all. We've been doing this live stream in this format for like 3.5 years, doing these consultations on TikTok and YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. We've been doing it for forever. And I have had people that are like, dude, you helped me change this whole part of the song. Here's a percentage or whatever and stuff like that. And that's awesome. I have no expectation of that. You've already paid for the service. If I can help build out the song, for you a little bit and help you gain some autonomy over the way that you approach your music, I think that's really cool. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, line closed. Wonder, I appreciate you. Thank you for the help. Yeah, line is closed for tonight. We'll be live again tomorrow, hopefully for a little bit longer. I just got 2 songs left. 2 songs left and then we're out of here. But yeah, Hovey, I think for me, those are the main things I want you to address. You're a good singer, obviously. Layering. I can hear what you're doing in your vocal. You understand these foundational elements. I've heard a lot of music from you in the past as well. So I know you get that stuff. And you're a good musician as well. I know this is still, like you said, it's not finished. For me, the biggest thing I want you to focus on is we need to be able to I need to hear a verse. I need to hear a hook. I need to hear a bridge at the end with a change in progression. Like if the whole song is and you change the melody here, and then I also want to hear like I want to hear I need to hear some change in energy. Dude, and it's so easy to get lazy, and there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Here's the thing with lazy isn't even the right word. I wouldn't even call it lazy. Sometimes the simplest answer is the correct answer. Sometimes it is. And we have all heard a song. There's a song out there with 2 billion streams that's like 4 words and like 3 chords, okay? Sometimes the simplest answer is the correct answer. This is why it is a song by song, structure by structure, creative element by creative element thing, right? Like this is very subjective, and it very much so just has to do with what you're creating and if it works, right? This is not like every song should have more chords and have 3 different verses and all these. I don't know. I'm talking like that. Every song should have 4 different verses. What the hell is going on? Sidebar. I think for me, it depends on what the song is. And this song in particular, because of the energy of your strumming patterns and the energy behind the way that you've structured a lot of this, I think it's like, okay, we need a break from the all of that energy and that same melody might work for some other song. In this particular context, I need to breathe for a second. I want to slow it down 6 to 8 BPM. I want to like relax the voice for a second, drop your register into like an easy verse, and then get back into the energy again with some melodic changes. That's helpful? Hopefully that makes some sense. Y'all show some love to the family. Hovey, I love you, man. I think you're amazing. Obviously very talented. You're a good writer. You love what you do, and you're very, very good at it. So I'm excited for you to build this out even more and to hear more of a complete idea with a little bit more nuance to it, because the bones are there. The foundation is there. I think it's really, really cool. So y'all please show some love to Hovey. Was under a different name last time, but now I see that you're going under this name, so I'll try to keep an eye out for that as well. I see it now. Let me say. I know I'm missing some comments. I'm so sorry if I'm missing some comments, y'all. I'm looking at 50 different things at the same time. Okay, I saw that. I'm too late to put my half. Kudos. Yeah. Line is closed. I already saw that too. I'm so glad. Thank you, Wonder. Same to you as well. I appreciate you so much. I'm really glad you're here. Okay, let's get into these next tracks. I think actually, speaking of, I think you are up next. Let me get this jumping in. Nicole, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. Welcome in. All right, y'all, last two songs. Keep that in mind, especially for those of you who are still up on the board. Last 2 songs. Everyone else will be safe for the next time that you're able to come in. Definitely make sure you stop by either tomorrow if you can, or the next time. I've kept people's songs for weeks, so don't even worry about it if you can't get heard tonight. I'll always make sure that you're taken care of. Like I said earlier, we've been doing this live stream for 3.5 years almost in this concept, and I've always made sure that everyone is taken care of. I'll never listen without you. I'll always make sure that you're here. So if you fall asleep, you eat, you work, you sleep, something like that, or I get off at the end of the night and you haven't been heard, always make sure that you're here. Just literally hop back in, and I'll make sure that you're taken care of. In fact, I'll always make sure I give you a boost too. If I leave you up on the board, I'll add at least 5 to yours to give you a boost next time as well. Johannes, thank you so much. I love these headphones. They're awesome. If you ever get a chance to use them, I think they're fantastic. They're a little crazy, but I do really like them. Okay, this is Wonder right here in the chat. Let's see, aka Wonderick, Rebel Song. Okay, let's get into it. Give me some details. This is my song inspired by Arcane. I want context. I want details. The thing that I kind of ask everyone is let me know the role that you play in your music, because this is different for everybody. We've heard, obviously today, we've heard everything from like really prolific musicians to generated music to like early demos. It's all the way across the board. So is this your production? Is it a remix of you? Is it your vocals that we're hearing? Are you mixing it yourself? Are you going to a studio working with an engineer? Give me some details. Give me some context. Okay, so I'm a game/anime musician. I write and sing. Okay, let's get it. Yeah, any details you have, drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat. All right, let's, no mixing, recorded by myself. Okay, beautiful. What does that mean? I'm curious. Game, anime musician. Is that stylistically, like you like making like game music, anime music, stuff like that, production stuff like that? Or is that or am I missing a specific niche that I'm unaware of? I'm about to be, and also sing. Glorious. Love it. All right, this is Rebel by Wønder. I've got the YouTube video right here. Talk to me about what you're producing on and stuff like that. And is this your voice? I write and sing. Okay, perfect. Oh, I gotta back it up. I'm distracted. I'm trying to like read the chat. I'm going back. We're starting over. I gotta focus. ADHD. Sit down. Focused.
You in on a fact. I'm not like the other ones. If I'ma make you scream, make it loud. Don't act like you're one of us. Come a little closer. Let me see the fear in your eyes. System with promos. Let me figure out what I like. Cause I'm a rebel. I'm a winner, but no never. I will shoot my shot. I'm better. I'm without just stupid lies. I'ma let you
Sick video too. Okay.
Come a little closer. The way you red in those eyes. Sorry, but it's over. I will set your whole world on fire. Cause I'm a rebel. I will win, I'm back, no never. I will shoot my shot, I'm better. I'm without just stupid lies. I'ma let you down cause I'm a rebel. I will win, I'm back, no never. I will shoot my shot, I'm better. I'm without just stupid lies. I'm not like the other ones. Cause your words are poison. I'm calling it now.
So you're a full band? Or I see in the video at least.
Look your true color. You're wearing theirs, not like the others. You're full of it. Come out to play.
Great mix.
I'll look you fine. Use my name.
Thank you for the roses. Appreciate you.
Such a shame you're one of them. Words just pick up your poison. Just convenient little punk you can blame. Don't need your pity since our bond has been broken. All that's left is rain. Cause I'm a rebel. I will be my back, no never. I'll shoot my shot, I'm better. I'm without just stupid lies. I'ma let you down cause I'm a rebel. I will be my back, no never. I'll shoot my shot, I'm better. I'm without just stupid lies.
Great video. Okay. Come on. Yo, show some love. That is Wønder right here in the chat. Fantastic. I want y'all to go check out the music video too. Hold on. I gotta go over here. I gotta open it up on YouTube over here. Absolutely killer. Such a great video. Go check out. Okay, I'm making sure I pull up the right video. Let's see. When did this song? No, it's a different video. Go check out. Where did it go? Come on. why is this not working now? It won't let me go to the video. Give me a sec. I got to reopen it back up. Oh yeah, it's in the email. Go look up Rebel. Go look up Rebel by Wønder. You will not be disappointed. It's a really, really good quality video. Really cool editing. Love the whole scene. Love the whole anime scene. It's the aesthetic, the crowd, the vibe, branding across the board. Incredibly consistent, really pointed. Absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. It's so good. This is a great example of like world building within a song. We were just talking about that. World building within a song, aesthetics to match, visuals to match, lyrics to match, like everything like we always talk about on this live stream. Everything pointed in the same direction. This is a really awesome example of that. We talk all the time about, things being pointed in the same direction, where you have like a lyric, song that's like one way, like lyrics to a song that are one way. The production's like completely different. The visual doesn't even match it. It's like random. This is a good example of like the energy of a song, the actual like visuals of the song, the lyrics of the song, the performance of the vocal with the writing, the actual like emoting of the vocalist and the musicians in this case, like all of it being pointed in the same direction. It's really, go check out the videos, y'all. And it looks like there's a ton more. So we're gonna have to go down the rabbit hole. But this is really, really, really cool. I think it was so hard to do. I can imagine the editing is awesome. Like the visuals are so cool, dude. Oh, so fun, so fun, so fun. Okay, let's give it to it. I'm gonna run it. Actually, I want to pull it up on Spotify. That way we can get you a stream as well. And then. While I'm doing that, give me a second. Let me just make sure I have everything updated here. Thank you for your patience as well. I appreciate it. Okay. Making sure I've got this all lined up. Okay. And then quick reminder, Miraj. Let me know if Miraj is in the chat. As of right now, you're at the top of the list. You'll be the last one. Just to keep you updated. Okay. The location was just a pub, and we transformed it into a zombie pub straight from the animation. It's so killer. I love that. It's, especially in this day and age, I'll say, in this day and age, I just appreciate effort. This is something this doesn't have to be everyone's passion. I don't expect it to be everyone's passion. I really don't. Especially no AI, by the way. So that's the thing. None. Like, that's the thing. Like, everyone has their perspective, and I respect it. I personally I like effort. I like things that are hard, that take effort, that take time, that I have so much admiration and appreciation when I get to watch. The video is a good example of this. I get to watch a bunch of different people that are excellent at their craft. Yes, there's just a perspective I respect more. Yeah, true. Right. Exactly. Like in this video, I mean, we're seeing vocalists and songwriters. What's up, Busy? We're seeing vocalists, songwriters, musicians, videographers and editors, animators. Like there's so much, just being able to self-direct this and produce this whole thing, the vision for it all, like the whole branding and aesthetic, working with the crowd. There's so much nuance, right? And there's 20 different people that all have to execute at their craft, at the thing that they love to do, that they're creative in, at a very high level to make this 4-minute thing work, right? I love that. That excites me. That makes me so excited and thrilled to be a creative, because it's this song was the definition of effort. We were losing our minds. I love it. I love it. And yes, Medusa, in a second, we're going to play the song again. To me, the costumes, the whole aesthetic, the whole branding around the whole thing, it's so consistent. It's so well executed. It feels like a really authentic cosplay of this without it feeling cheesy. You know what I mean? It's good world building, like we were talking about earlier. I love it. I'm very much so a fan of that. That being said, I think to me, this is just a good example of high effort, high reward, where I just really admire when things take work. They take a lot of time and creativity and resource to make them click. It's really hard not to make cosplay work. Yeah, 100%, because it's if you just do the cosplay and you go halfway and then the video's not there, then it's very cheesy. It's disconnected, right? Not everything's pointed in the same direction, like we were saying. It's like you have to be able to almost, and again, you're mixing in animation as well. And the animation makes it very challenging as well, where the animation is obviously going to be very vibrant, very consistent, and very saturated. So what I love about this, and again, we're just talking about the video now, not even necessarily the song, but what I love about it is it's the visual production on the videography side as well, and like the cinematography side as well, is very oversaturated, right? Everything is a little bit over contrasted, a little bit oversaturated, and it's a better blending of that kind of world and that color grading. That color grading is a better blend with the animation than just like a flat raw file with a little bit of contrast and a little bit of additional saturation. It's a much better blend between the two. Like it almost both feels animated in a way, which I think is beautiful. I think that's fantastic. Anyways, enough of that. Retrack. It's so good to see you, dude. What's up, Retrack? Okay, let me pull it up really quick. I wanna pull it up on Spotify so we can get the stream over there too. So let me get this rolling here. Okay, let's get into it, y'all. Like I mentioned before, this is Rebel. The artist is Wønder. They're right here in the chat. Go stream the song. Go add it to your playlist. Go like the track. Follow on DSPs. All that fun stuff. Let's run it. Make sure I follow you on Spotify too. All right, let's roll it. Let's roll it, and then we'll get into our last song here in a second. What's up, Derek Bennett? What's up, Retrack? Let me run it from the top. Great example of good, again, like we were talking about with a lot of stuff before, repetition structure, not the same, like we were talking about with Hovey, not the exact same repetition all the time, but structured repetition, where you have like your first two melodies repeated, like an AABA section here. In this case, it's kind of like an AABB songwriting section, or songwriting structure, where you have like two of the same melody, and then you switch to another melody and repeat that melody again. You have an AA and a BB right here. That makes it so catchy. Like, so it just sticks, right? It's locked in. It feels like so pointed and so distinct. Those are those repetitions that I'm talking about, where it's not boring. It's not monotonous. It's not the same thing over and over again, but you have sections of repetition that change and then repeat. And then when you go back to another verse, you have some targeted repetition back again. Your hooks are very consistent across the board. That's the level of repetition that we're talking about. That when someone hears a song for the first time and there's like a hook that has two melodies in it that you repeat, and then you do that hook 3 times in a song, they're hearing that hook and that melody structure 6 times per listen. It makes it just so sticky of a hook. Like, it's so catchy. It's so sticky because those melodies are structured in a way that's like really, really palatable, where people are going to be humming the song later on, whether they even remember where they heard it. It's going to be stuck in their head. Those are those little structural things right there that I think are so important. Just saying, I'm proud of you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for saying that. All right, let me keep it running. Great melodies. Repetition right here. Perfect repetition. Same, like, and then perfectly repeated again. Chef's kiss. Love it. That's what we're looking. And this is any style of music. This is like when we talk about a lot of these like rules, this is not like just about making a sterile pop song. This is not about like, this is only good for like punk rock and pop rock. This is not just good for, this stuff as well. Like it's any style of music. This would be the same for a country song, a pop record, an R&B record, a rap hook that's much more about like cadence and rhythmic structure. Like this is the same genre to genre, where it feels like really, really consistent. It makes it stick, and it rhymes as well. I love it. Same same exact structure as the first verse. So catchy. It's a great mix too. I don't know who. I don't know. Please. I need to say I'm proud of you. Oh, I thought. Wait, hold on. How can you just say, hold on. How can you just say, I'm proud of you? Wait, I thought people typo all the time. I feel like such an idiot now. People typo all the time. Of course, duh, everybody does. I thought you were saying like, can I just say I'm proud of you? And that's the way that my brain read that, whatever. So I was like, dude, thank you so much. You're so kind and you're so sweet. But you were requesting me say that to you. I think I did anyways. I don't know if I said that back to you. Either way, that's so funny. I just had such a it's such a brain fart there. I was like, dude, I'm just so like used to, I don't know. I'm just assuming everyone's really nice. Yeah, right? Like, we're so proud of you, man. We're so proud of you. Is it Manto? So proud of you. It's so funny. I'm like, wait, hold on. What are we talking about here? I'm just like assuming everyone's being super nice. I'm like, dude, thank you so much. You're so fucking generous with your words. Thank you for that. Okay, let's back it up a little bit here. Second verse. Let's get it. And then you said your friend did the mix. Awesome. It's a great mix. It's a very dry, punchy, forward mix. It's great. Like, again, there's a time and place for massive reverbs and everything's crazy, right? In this case, it's very pointed, it's very direct, it's very controlled. I like it. You're filling in a lot of these gaps with production, right? Counter melody for your vocal, little background melodies and stuff right there. You're filling in with a lot of good production, counter melodies on the guitar, fillers on the bass and the drums, kind of melodies in the vocals like we were talking about. Like, that fills a lot of the space without this needing to be like muddy and noisy, which I like in this genre a lot. I think it's a cheat for a lot of people in the genre. They typically overproduce and like over reflect and create a lot of processing. This feels a lot more direct, which I think is really, really nice. We also have a reverse breath that I love. Dude, I love reverse reverbs and breaths and stuff like that are some of my favorite stuff. The mic, Taylor, the mic is a Neumann M147. I almost forgot. Neumann M147 tube. Clean. Super clean. This is great. Swell. Nasty. Keep doing what you're doing. This is great. Awesome. I don't know if I saw the video. Reagan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I obviously saw the music video that you recorded, which had the crowd integrated and stuff like that. I don't know. Are you performing live as well? I'm kind of assuming you are. This got a little bit. This is a little bit more of a modern processed, like a little bit more like progressive rock, but it still has a little bit. I hate to even say this because it feels like it's like every female rock vocal. It feels like this sounds just like Paramore. I'm not trying to do it because I hate when people do that. Everyone takes like an auto-tuned male pop vocal, like this sounds like Kid Laroi, and it's like that's not what I'm trying to do. But stylistically, I don't mean it just like your voice sounds like that. Yeah, Paramore's awesome. I think they're fantastic. That's not what I hate that sometimes. Like when people like every time they just hear a kind of a vocal, they hear a female rock vocal, and they're like, dude, this is whatever. It sounds like Evanescence. And it's like, this is like the only two rock vocals that they know. That's not what I'm trying to do. Point is simplistic guitar structure, powerful drums, solid top line vocal. Like that's one of the things that I think Haley and obviously the band do so well is you perceive it as very simple. Not at all copied up. Very much in your own lane. Your voice is very unique in the way that it's expressed. But like the stylistic choices of like perceptively simple and powerful without a ton of filler going on. Like when you listen to a lot of the Paramore records, that's what I like about it. Is like the drums are actually like they're pretty difficult to play. Like there's a lot of things that like some of the rhythmics are like really interesting. The melodies, obviously her voice is nuts, that they're challenging to do, but when you hear it, they feel kind of easy. That's what I like about this too, is like obviously some of the things that y'all are doing are not easy things to do. They take a lot of effort and a lot of, actual like skill as a vocalist and a musician to do. But at the same time, you hear it as like fairly simple and it's very like tight and very cohesive, which I think is great. And then Miraj, we're about to get into yours. Great shift here, great breakdown. Come on. Seven, it's gotta be a 7-string guitar. I'm pretty sure it's like a 7-string guitar. It's lower all the way down to the beat. A low B right there, like deep, like B minor on the guitars. It's nasty, it's gritty. It's doing everything I want it to do. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Just pick up your poison. Just convenient little punk you can blame. Don't need your pity since our bond is been broken. All that's left is rain. 'Cause I'm a rebel. I won't bend my back, no never.
And then there's some range coming up here too. Yeah, this is great. This is fantastic. Y'all be along for the ride. I don't know what y'all are waiting on. This is solid. Super professional. And then third note harmonies are up there. Powerful, like lead mix voice. Come on. Come on. What's up? Woo-hoo. Damn. Nasty. Nasty, nasty. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Wønder right here in the chat. So good. There's nothing that needs correction on here. It's great engineering. Clean, polished engineering across the board. Super, super. I mean, you hear every single element. It's separate. It's distinct. It's clear. Great, powerful vocal over the top. Awesome mix. Great production structure. Song and vocal, absolutely killer. I'm excited to hear more from y'all. Please show some love to Wønder. If you like what you hear, which you should, it's great. Go stream the song, go add it to your playlist, go like the track, go follow on Spotify and other DSPs. Y'all are already crushing it on Spotify. 34,894 monthly listeners right now. I'll be honest though, I haven't seen your profile or anything like that. I haven't seen like the kind of content and stuff. I'm kind of assuming you're crushing it because YouTube is crushing it too. Kind of assuming you're good on the content side. I'm not even the guy to go to for stuff like that. But I would actually assume that your monthlies would be a little bit higher. So I'm kind of curious to dive into that a little bit as well, because that is the hardest part. I suck at it. Everyone sucks at it. We all suck at it. We can all suck on that together. Suck at that together. Jesus, what are we talking about? It's too late. My brain is getting fried. It's really, really solid. It's really, really solid. So I would love to see how you are integrating music into your content, or if maybe your content takes a different form on social media with different stuff, because the song is great and you're getting good movement, at least on YouTube from what I'm seeing. Killing it with the content. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. It's the content is the part that is so, and why a drop is good though. Why it dropped, it's good though. Need more new songs. Yeah, let me see something really quick, because this will be a little bit of the 7,913 followers on Spotify. I'm assuming I can just see something really quick. I'll just look at some of the stats. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, this song performed really, really, yeah, it was 50,000. You've had some big playlists, right? I'm assuming. Have you done any distribution deals or single deals with a label? No, actually, no major playlists. Just content. What about I can't see it all here. No label, beautiful. I love it. It's indie is the way to go. You get full control. Let me see. Sorry, I'm looking at something here. Let me see. Dude, I love it. I love it. Fully indie. I love it. I'm looking at the artist profile. Yeah, so you have a pretty good following to monthly right now, it's the way to go. That's the way to go. And if you need to hire independently, hire independently. Just hire a booking agent. Just hire someone. Hire a tour manager. You know, put it on a loan or a card or something like that, and work that way and maintain percentages. As soon as you start giving up 87% of your records for largely no reason, for you to keep doing what you're doing, for you to keep executing content, is kind of pointless. It's just way better to stay independent and hire out as necessary, or a little bit of sweat equity or independent percentages to the people that you need around you. If you need to like have a producer, hire an engineer, hire session musicians and stuff like this, it's way easier to go direct. You have good followers on there as far as is releasing often. I'm just kind of looking at the Spotify profile right now, and then we'll get into our very last song of the day. That's the only thing that I'm noticing is you do have people that are sticking. So 35, let's say 35 to 50,000 monthly listeners. That's good. That's a solid, consistent number right there. That means you're getting 30, you're probably getting a couple 100,000 streams a month overall, which is fantastic. That's awesome. Like at 30,000 to 50,000, you're most likely getting like 200,000 to 400,000 streams a month, which is very sustainable. That's real. That is not an easy thing to do. That's a great amount of streams that are coming in fairly consistently, even on backlog songs, right? Some of these are going to be on songs that is good. So the ratio is pretty good. You have about 8,000 followers on there. The benefit of those followers is re-triggering releases. So when you have followers on there, it does automatically add songs to like library. It allows for more discovery. Like those people are then like notified of new releases, even in their emails. It'll pop up on their front page on Spotify. And this goes the same with some other DSPs, but it's not as comment to like follow and stuff like on like, Deezer and Tidal and, Amazon Music and like stuff like that. But your ratio of like 8,000 followers to 35,000-ish monthly listeners, a little bit above that sometimes, obviously, depending on how current your releases are, is pretty solid. So, I mean, that is the thing that I would try to figure out. It's the pain point for a lot of people, is how to get more often, more releases more often. The way that I would do, if you struggle to release, work with other people to release other versions. Like a song like this has like 285,000 streams, which is fabulous. It's amazing. For a song like this, and you have a couple other ones with several 100,000. You had one, I think, English version of a song has like 2.7 million. Get multiple versions on there. You have a great voice for like EDM, like, heavy electronic, like, melodic electronic music, remixes of your song. So like work with another producer and do a 50-50 split across the board. You never know if that song gets placed in a movie, split sync fees that way. You never know if that gets published. Maybe work with like a heavy dubstep, maybe work with an EDM artist, like maybe even a couple other versions of that, then release like just an acoustic version. You can even use your original vocals, just find an acoustic player to do it. And this can be a way that you're like, man, I'm releasing a song every 6 months and it's not sustainable. Or like an EP or an album every couple years. It's not really sustainable to like grow more of your audience that sticks. Find some other version. So it's like if you put out this song, but then you put out a remix 3 or 4 weeks from now, and then another remix 3 or 4 weeks from now. And then in that time, you have, turned over, and maybe you can do an acoustic version that's in-house. Use your guitarist and your vocal, just you two, and do 3 months out. You do it, and you're re-triggering the algorithm for the song too, because you'll get peripheral streams on the original as well. I'm only afraid of wasting time on producers who are just not. That's 100%. Any advice on where to look for producers? Oh man, I mean, that's tough. I know some good ones. I like, in that space, like for like remixes and stuff, I know some good ones. It is hard. I feel your pain, and I don't know if I have they're out there. One thing that you could do. Yeah. I mean, I can work in that. I can work in that space. It's not the one that I'm like the most that I released a lot of, as far as like EDM and electronic, but it definitely can. The other side to that is, putting it out there, where you post. I've seen a lot of people do this, where you just do a snippet of the song. You post like your vocal a cappella, and then on your reel or on your story or whatever, the way that, on your TikTok, the way that you format it, you tell the key and BPM, and then tell DJs to remix it. I've seen songs go like mega viral doing stuff like that. And again, you got the content down. I'm not really worried about it. I just know you won't put yourself on. Thank you, Libby. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I feel very shy sometimes about putting myself out there. I mean, I would love to. I think it would be so fun. I think it'd be so fun to work on something like this. But yeah, I mean, I think what I've seen a lot of people do is they try to attract those people to them instead of seeking them out, because it can be challenging. It can be challenging. There's a lot of really inconsistent producers out there, like you said, that it can be challenging to find something that works. So I think one way is like you just allow people to kind of run with a pocket of the song. The song's already released. You already have ownership over it. So you release like an acapella clip of the hook, and you see if any really cool producers do something really interesting with it. And then from there, if you're like, actually, this one was killer, like this one was actually really, really cool. And then you reach out to them, you work it out and kind of, funnel it that way. But I feel your pain because I've worked with a couple producers and have tried to figure some stuff out with a couple producers, and it's just like messy. It was just messy. It was really inconsistent. I felt, of a new song or even this song. Like, since the song is already out, like this song could take on another life. I've seen people have songs with like a couple 100,000 views, or a couple 100,000 streams, and then still go viral. The song still has infinite potential. You know what I mean? Like the gap between 200,000 streams and like 4.8 million streams is huge. It's also thousands of dollars, right? Tens of thousands of dollars. So like there's still a huge growth arc for a song like this. So like just because it's done something doesn't mean it can't redo something 10 times with 10 different versions or different placements. Like there's songs that get placed. I knew a guy who he put out a record. I don't remember the exact name of the record, but this was years and years ago. But he put out a record 4 years before, 4 years after he got a placement with an outdoor company for $60,000. I think it was a $35,000 initial check for 6-month license or 3-month license. Then they did another 3-month license for another $25,000 on the same song. 4 years after the song came out, it was placed in a huge commercial for a 6-month run, and he got $60,000 from it. So just because the song is like out doesn't mean this can't like be in a movie 2 years from now. It doesn't mean that like there's not someone like looking to do some like really interesting like cyberpunk show on Netflix, and right now they're looking for these, like the song is out now. So like in 3 years, Apple TV might be looking for some really interesting song, and they see this now, or they see versions of it now. So that's why I was like, I'm never afraid to like tell people to like push stuff forever. Like you have the song out like now, and you can make more songs, and you should make more songs and more versions of it. But keep pushing it forever. You never know. You never know what opportunity could come, years and years and years down the road. Especially when you're working in the sync space, as you know, working in the sync space, like this stuff is not immediate. It takes a lot of time to get that ball rolling. So you also still have one more time. I got to keep it going. Wonder, I appreciate you so much. That was awesome. That felt more like I'm just like experiencing it. That was just like fun to just hear good music and be, a part of experiencing that. That was awesome. Okay, Miraj, let me know if you're in the chat. Miraj, let me know if you're in the chat. This is our last song, y'all. Last song. I got to get out of here. Miraj is in the building. All right, let me pull it up right here. This is Nowadays. This is out on Spotify. We got K-pop stuff. I'm working on some K-pop stuff right now. I don't have an artist for the K-pop stuff, but I'm working on some stuff because I want to get in that world. So that's fire. I can't wait to hear it. All right. I have a couple tracks that I'm excited to dive in. Hey, good night. Appreciate you so much. Have an amazing rest of your night. Dan, the band, the man, the super fan is in the building. What's up, Dan? Good to see you. All right, y'all. Last one. Thank you for the heart me, and thank you for the Go Populars, man. I appreciate you. All right, Miraj, give me the details. We're gonna close it up here. Talk to me about the production. Talk to me about the mix, and let's get into it. Let's go. You mixed it all too?
Nowadays don't know where you are. It's a long way to get to your heart. And now I love these drifting apart. Nowadays don't know where you are. It's a long
little bit of swing there.
And now I love drifting apart. It's a long way to your heart, girl, don't you think I know that? Trying to hold the keys and roll in peace like I am Kodak. Black, but first out rap. These rappers that hold it get sideways just to show they mad. Can backtrack, but at least I know that I did this my way. Want my love, girl,
Come and find me, I ain't hiding. Till then, girl, I'll be gliding. On these verses I created like lightning striking.
What are you using to record vocals and stuff?
Till them plaques turn gold. Nah, fuck that diamond. Ain't no drug in the world to get as high as I am. Just know you can't lose, dog, if you keep trying. Mirage 2.0. Album on the way. Nowadays don't know where you are. It's a long way to get to your heart. Now I love you drifting apart.
Okay, cool.
Nowadays don't know where you are. It's a long way to get to your heart. And now I love you drifting apart.
Let's go. Y'all show some up. Is it a condenser microphone? Is it one of their, because I've seen those before. Is it the condenser or is it like one of the like handheld ones? Like one of the like handheld vocal mics? Been on my mind to upgrade. Oh yeah, let me know if you have any. Questions about that. All people are always asking about mics and interfaces and stuff like that. So if you have any questions on stuff like that, please let me know, man. I'd be happy to suggest some stuff for you based on your environment, based on your voice, based on your budget and stuff like that too. But let's run it from the top, man. This is Nowadays by Miraj. This song is also on all platforms. So if you like what you hear, go stream it, go like it, go add it to your playlist, go follow on Spotify, all that good stuff. Show them some love and support. Go boost their algorithm. Miraj, let's get into it. It's short and sweet. Short and sweet. Let's get into it. This was all self-produced and mixed as well. All self-produced and mixed. So let's target a couple things here. There's a couple little things I want to dig into briefly as I'm getting caught on my cable here. As we get into some of the details here, I want to fine tune a few things here. So let's start it from the top. We'll dig into some of the details. Love that you're doing this all yourself. You get full control over your music. I want to talk briefly about some of the transitions in here and filtering. And then some of the processing on vocal and percussion is one of the main things here, where you have some really nice saturation. I love saturation. I love a good tape saturator and just crunching everything up, making it like warm and beefy. It's got a lot of energy to it. At the same time, if you push it too far on too many elements, you start to lose clarity and separation. And I still want the style. I still want that energy and that aesthetic, but I also still want to be able to kind of hear the difference between like the bass and the kick. I want to kind of hear how these things coexist in the mix. So those are some of the things I want to target really briefly. Let's run it from the top. It's a nice sample too. Okay, really quick. I mentioned this at least once live, usually. One of the things I want you to keep in mind is the streaming thresholds. That's one of the things I want you to keep in mind when you're building your intros and stuff like that. Most of the major DSPs, they have a 30-second streaming threshold for it to count as a stream and for you to get paid, which means that if someone doesn't listen to that song past 30 seconds, you won't see a stream and you won't get paid, right? I say this all the time. You could have 1 million people listen to the song for 28 seconds, 27 seconds, and you'll see 0 streams and 0 pennies from it, even if 1 million people do it, right? You have to reach that threshold, which is why your intros are so important. Now, you have a nice like slow burn of an intro here. Your vocal kicks in at about 28 seconds. I would suggest, especially as a new artist. Now, if you're Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Drake, whoever, like you can do whatever you want now, and everyone's going to say that it's amazing, right? New artists, small artists, especially in our case, like with you, like 12 monthly listeners, we don't have that luxury, right? Where everything we put out, everyone just adores, and they're going to stream it no matter what, if it's optimized as an intro. As a new artist, someone who's building their structure, you need to polish a little bit and optimize a little bit. Try to optimize that first 30 seconds. Farther than that, like the first 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. The thing that I usually tell people is just introduce yourself as an artist, right? You have some sampling in the background that's good, that's engaging. It's a slow buildup right here, slowly opening filters, slowly fading in the audio right there as the sample builds in a little bit, and then the drums start. But your vocal doesn't come in really in any major form until 28 seconds, which odds are, as a new artist, most people have skipped, right? Just because they don't know yet. And there's a million songs a week, not counting AI. It's far more than that now. A million songs a week put on Spotify, right? It's it's an insane amount of music that is put out there every single day, every single week, right? So that's the noise that we're competing with. So if you want people to know Miraj and you want them to know you as an artist, you got to introduce yourself a little bit earlier, because this is most likely the only chance someone is going to give you for their music before they move on to the music they already know and love. Same on social media, right? Same with like swiping through content. So I would suggest you introduce yourself early. That can be any way. And you'll hear this with a lot of different artists. It could be at like 8 seconds, you just take a deep breath on the mic. It could be like, you'll hear some people like they'll light a lighter, they'll take a deep breath, you say yeah, or you say a couple things, like just say a sentence, like kind of preface the song a little bit right there. You can even like filter and put a part of your hook, put it at the intro. Like you can have like a part of that hook and like filter it out, put a bunch of chorus and reverb on it, put it at the intro in the song and fade it in along with the sample. Some way of like making yourself known so that it's not just another instrumental intro. It's not another just 28 seconds of a slowly faded in sample, but there's a reason why someone should stick around and listen to your song, because you're the artist that's right here in front of them. That's what I want you to focus on, just because otherwise, as you'll see in your numbers, as you'll see in your content, like people will just move on. They'll move on really, really quickly. But if early on here, you introduce the sample a little bit, and I mean, this is, I mean, you'll see, especially with, love them or hate it. This is something you'll hear a lot of times with Drake, right? Like the song will start like this. It'll kick in a little bit. Yeah. He'll just say, yeah. And then he'll just say something random like, I was just on the south side of Houston with they'll just start saying some bullshit. They'll just saying something. I don't even know. I'm making stuff up. Like that kind of stuff where it's like, tell me a little bit of a story, introduce your vocal a little bit, tell me who you are for a second, and then get into it. You can bullshit, you can do whatever. But you get what I mean? Now that you know the threshold, you'll start to hear it all over. You will very, very rarely hear like a pop, R&B, or rap song in any subgenre of those where you don't hear some form of that vocal introduced early, saying something, taking a deep breath, lighting a lighter, smoking, like whatever. Like you'll hear it now in every song that you listen to, some version of them introducing themselves, like letting the audience know I'm here in front of the mic and I'm about to do something, instead of just letting the song run and then you just happen to pop back in at 28 seconds, right? Those little details matter. All right, let's get into it.
Nowadays don't know where you are. It's a long way to get to your heart. And our love is drifting apart.
It's a good hook.
Nowadays don't know where you are. It's a long way to get to your heart. And our love is drifting apart. It's a long way to your heart, girl. Don't you think I know that?
Okay, really quick. I would love on this hook. It's a good hook. I mean, that's catchy. It's got good repetition, good consistent melody on there right now. Right now, you have a bunch of doubles all kind of hitting in the same place. So you have what sounds like actual doubles of the vocal, duplicates of the vocal that are maybe formant shifted up. Maybe they're pitched an octave up or an octave down. You have a couple actual duplicates restructured of that vocal, if I'm hearing that correctly. What's happening is it's all kind of hitting you right in the middle. So you're getting, it sounds like some phase issues where you're getting some like loss of energy in the vocal occasionally, which usually happens when something floats in and out of phase. So you're getting some of that like energy loss. So the vocal in the middle of the mix will just feel kind of hollow. It just doesn't feel like it has any punch to it. Now, when your lead vocal comes in on the verse, all of those doubles leave and that vocal slices straight through the mix, right? So on a separate track, most likely, it cuts straight through and it's a little bit more punchy. I'm missing a little bit of that on the hook. On the hook where you have all of those doubles and duplicates right here in the middle. What I would do for one is get them out of the way of the lead vocal, start to separate them out. If they are separated out and they're collapsing, that again means that you're dealing with some phase issues and you need to separate, these like Haas effect, like separate timing, it was acquire automation. Okay, so you're probably then still dealing with some phase issues. What I would do is, I don't know if you had this, how you had this set up, obviously in your session. I would have it on an aux. I don't know if that was the case. Did you have it on the vocal itself or did you have it on an aux? That'll let me know something. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example actually right now. of what I'm talking about. Get some variation in pitch, variation in timing, variation in vibrato. On a vocal channel. Okay. It was on a vocal channel, but it was on a separate vocal bus, a separate vocal stereo bus, or was it on your vocal channel? So like only, okay. So make sure, here's what I want you to make sure. So like I have a choir, I can switch you just really briefly. I'll switch over here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So for instance here, right here, this aux one right here, this is just like a vocal effect aux, right? And it's a stereo. This is one of the things I want you to make sure. Make sure that is a stereo aux for one. Make sure that it's a stereo aux, and I have my choir plugin on here. So this is the choir vocal multiplier by Antares, right? They do auto tune and whatever stuff like that. So this is the choir plugin right here, and I have it on a stereo aux, but there's nothing on my vocal until I send it, right? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to send the vocal. I'll send the vocal over to this aux. And because I have it on its own stereo aux, so I'm making sure that it's not duplicating anything. I'm making sure that it's not collapsing anything to mono. That'd be one thing I would watch out for. It sounds like some of that might be in mono or it's collapsing to mono. You'll see, because this is a stereo aux, fully wide left and right in stereo, that when I mix this in, hold on. Check. Hold on, what's going on here? Check. Hold up 1 second. Let me delete this one. I'll start fresh with a different one. It's giving me some routing issues because I just changed everything earlier. Come on, dude. Pro Tools, what are we doing here? Keep clicking the wrong thing. There we go. All right. So now we'll go in here. We'll add our choir. And then let's take this out. And then we'll route it. Hold up. Wait, why is this not working? Check. Why is this not working right now? Check 1, 2. Check. Oh, dude, I'm so stupid. I'm putting it on the piano. That's my bad. What am I doing? It's like no one's even saying anything. I was like, wait, I keep putting this on the piano. I was like, wait, why is nothing happening right now? Brilliant. Such a brilliant man. There we go. Check. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Right? So now you hear all that craziness right there, where it is coming from. It's coming from all around. I don't even know if this will be working on TikTok, or if you'll be able to hear kind of the stereo openness. I need to be. I was like, hold on, this guy. I was like, I put this on the piano 4 times. What's going on, right? So this is what we're not experiencing within the structure of yours, right? Yours is kind of collapsed back to mono. So the few things that I want you to double check on is when you're using a choir plugin or a doubler or whatever it may be, a doubler, a choir, there's a couple other plugins I can show where it gives you that stereo image, and I have it separated out. Make sure that it is, for one, fully stereo. Make sure it's not a mono aux or a mono bus. Make sure that it is a stereo bus or stereo aux, and then make sure that on that stereo, that it is giving you a full left and right image. And then on the plugin here as well. So you see, like at least on this one, this one that I'm using in Antares, I have options here for my stereo spread. Like in here. Again, nothing is working for me right now. Oh, there we go. There's a stereo spread. It's like right here in the middle. I'm going through it. Right here in the middle, I can change this to be mono, right? So if I bring the stereo spread down to here and I turn this up, this is more of what I'm hearing from you, right? This kind of doubling, I get some phase issues in here. I'm getting some doubling in there because this is mono, right? As soon as I start to open this up like that, that's where we get this width and this openness. And that's what I want to hear more from your vocal, right? And obviously I can increase the voices here. Now we got 32 voices, right? We can add a lot of energy to this where it sounds kind of crazy, right? It has a lot of energy to it. That's more what I desire to hear in your vocal mix, where it doesn't feel like everything's kind of right here. It feels a little weaker in the mix, kind of pulled back. It's collapsed to mono a little bit. I'm not getting any of that stack. I'm not getting any of the openness that I really want to hear out of your vocal. So anyways, quick example of that, if that makes sense. Okay, let's get back over here.
Trying to hold the keys and roll in peace.
Because your lead vocal cuts through a lot cleaner getting into the verse. It's happening because of that choir plugin. So that's where I want to open that up a little bit more.
Kodak Black, but first I'll rap. These rappers that hold their gas sideways just to show they mad. Can backtrack, but at least I know that I did this my way. Want my love, girl, to come and find me. I ain't hiding until then, girl, I'll be gliding on these verses I created like lightning striking.
Pretty smooth compression on the vocal. Like there's some parts of it I want to open up just a little bit, feels a little filtered down. So watch that like 9K, 10K range of your vocal where there's some parts of it that feel a little bit like restrained. Pretty smooth compression. It feels like, it feels nice and even. It sounds like you've got multiple compressors on there controlling those dynamics. That feels pretty good to me. I don't really mind that. Feels a little filtered down on the top. So just watch that top end, give it maybe a little bit of a lift, like 9K, 10K, just open it up a little bit so there's a bit more punch, a little bit more drive behind it. And then one of the last things for me, beyond just like the song structure itself, right? Because you do have some good repeated hooks here. I want to get into transition just for a second later. The other is just mix on. Do you think it could be the microphone that is struggling with those higher frequencies? Most large, potentially, that's a cheap mic, right? Like most large diaphragm condensers can handle up to like 20K. Let's just like largely past the point of human perception, right? So it shouldn't be like, to an extent, maybe, but you should still be able to open it up a little bit. The only time you'll run into something where it's like really, really dark at that range is like a handheld dynamic microphone, like a cheap dynamic microphone that's going to be, maybe a little bit darker, a little bit more mellow. And even then you just EQ it. You can just open up like at the top, even like some of the other mics that I have, like I have an SM7B, that's the Shure SM7B. That mic's like super dark and mellow and flat, right? So like even that microphone, I just have to EQ to all hell and make it, a lot brighter and a lot more open, because otherwise it just sounds super muted and super mellow. So I start by like, again, if you have the capacity in the near future to upgrade, I think it's very well worthwhile. I've always upgraded as I reach pain points. So like when my skill and my ability to process has reached the limitation of a piece of gear, that's usually when I upgrade, unless I'm just having fun with something creatively or it's a part of my business where I'm using it to do something very specific for clients and stuff like that. So if you feel like you've kind of reached the limitation of that microphone, there's some easy upgrades that will definitely sound better for you that are not crazy expensive. You don't have to spend thousands. Obviously, you can spend $100 on a mic and they're pretty good. Lewitt has a fantastic one. I think it's the best for the money. Good interfaces with quality preamps and conversion at even a fairly low price. So there's options. There's options out there. With this microphone currently, though, I still would just open up the top end a little bit, not exaggerated. We're talking 2-3 dB, just enough to give it a lift, not enough to make it harsh and brittle. That's usually the extreme. You don't want it harsh. You don't want it brittle. You don't want it to like cause, a bunch of sibilant, issues and stuff like that, where your S's are super sharp and abrasive. So just a little bit of a lift to give it some air and some space, I think will help a lot. On the production side really quickly, and then we'll move on to the last little transition part I'm listening for. On the production side, I just heard AT2020. It sounded pretty dang good. Yeah, the AT2020 is great. I mean, that's the one most people go to because they're under $100. You can find them for like $70 used oftentimes. The AT2020 is awesome. The only reason why I typically don't recommend the AT2020 is just noise. The issues for people getting stuff at a cheap level are compounded. That's the thing, right? So like usually, and I say this so loosely, so incredibly loosely, usually the people that have to get a cheaper microphone that has harsher frequency profile and more noise are usually the ones that have the least capacity to deal with those issues in a way that sounds good, right? So that's why most of the time I'll recommend the Lewitt over the AT2020. It is a fantastic. I've used it plenty of times. I used to have a 2020. Used it plenty of times. I know so many people that use it. It is, if you can find one cheap, get one. They're great. But they're known for being a lot noisier than a lot of other microphones in the same price range. So that's why I usually recommend the Lewitt LCT 240 Pro. It's a much lower noise floor. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit better response. It's a little bit cleaner, a little bit more open, much lower noise for the same price. They're both $100 new. So that's why I usually recommend the Lewitt, because the AT2020 is good, but it is a little bit noisy. Some say Torvik until the frequency curves of a scented candle. That's actually true. That's actually a fact. Yeah, of course. And again, I've used so many cheap. I used to have an MXL 770. also a pretty good cheap microphone, but it also was super noisy. So what happens is like when I had that, like I've obviously some better gear now, but like when I had the MXL 770, which is a noisy cheap microphone, it's a $75 mic. It's a noisy cheap microphone. And at the time, I also had a Scarlett Solo, a noisy cheap interface with like, noisy preamps at the time, like second or third generation. Everything was noisy. So then I'm like recording stuff, thinking I'm doing a good job, but then it's all the time. Tricky, thank you for the awesome. I appreciate it. Like, I think I'm recording well, but then everything's so like hissy and noisy that I'm having to like gate everything out and use like noise reduction and RX11. And like, I'm doing all of these things to take out issues because the mic and the interface we're working with a lot of just self noise, a lot of like a pretty high noise floor. So that's taken care of if I just, upgrade to like a Lewitt, 440 pure for like $200, and then upgrade to like a universal audio volt. Like that upgrade right there is like quieter preamps, better conversion, and a much quieter noise floor on the microphone. Like just 50 extra bucks can get you like a little bit of a step up from there. So anyways, side note there. I love the saturation on the percussion. So, and as far as like this percussion, I love it's crunchy, it's gritty. I think we've pushed it maybe a little bit too far to where I'm actually losing. There's like a sweet spot with saturation where I can take it from like taking my drums, beefing them up and giving them some crunch and some energy and some stylistic things that I really like, and then taking it all the way into just squashed, right? Where it's like I can take it all the way over the edge to just I've just flattened these drums and squashed kind of all the information out of them. And that's a little bit what's happened with this, where I'm like now I'm actually like losing some of the punch in the drums, and I'm losing a little bit of that drive that I want to hear out of this. So the hook doesn't really snap as much as I want to, or as much as I want it to, because we've pushed the saturation kind of over the edge. What I would probably do in your situation is just back off the saturation a hair, so it's not just clipping and distorting. Back off that distortion or saturation just a hair, and then compress it to give you some snap, right? So if you like give it some compression so it's got color, right? It has like some texture and some character, and then add like an 1176 after that to give it some snap and some punch. So you have this kind of distorted, crunchy drum, but it's still got some beef to it, right? It still has a little bit of stab to it that's kind of reaching through the mix, driving the song forward. Right now it's just squashed, so where you're losing some dynamic range, so the drums never really jump, and it doesn't really give you a lot of energy. So that's one little step there. Let me get to the last little transition. Hopefully this is a bit helpful and can give you a couple tools to look at.
Fuck that diamond, ain't no drug in the world to get as high as I am. Just know you can't lose, dog, if you keep trying. Mirage 2.0 album on the way.
So like even this transition right here, going into the hook, this is the main one I want to talk about, and then we'll hop off. This little transition right here on the hook, we filter all the way down and then we filter all the way back up. But because there's no real change in energy at all, the transition doesn't transition you into anything, right? So like think of any rock, metal, hip hop, pop, R&B, country, dubstep, whatever. Any transition, it's got to lead you into something different. So what we do kind of here is we have this production right here, we filter down, and then it's the same production again, right? We filter it back up, it's the same production, but there's no real shift in energy or change in dynamic range. The vocal, I think, is largely copied over. Most of the production and sampling right there is copied over. My biggest recommendation to you is if you're going to do a transition and a change in energy and a drop, make sure it leads to something that feels at least slightly different, right? It has like a little bit of a variation to it. So whether it's like at the top of the production, you add one of the little synth that has a dun, 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 like sits over the top a little bit, or you have like another ad lib to your vocal, like here.
Nowadays don't know where you are.
Don't know what you are.
Long way to get to your heart.
Long way to get
Now
there.
love's
Yeah.
drifting apart.
Drifting apart. Yeah. Like one extra little thing, another like production layer, another vocal layer, another something, right? You open it up just a little bit more so that the transition matters. You come out of a section and you go into a different one. You're not just like copying and pasting over here with a small change in between to make it more interesting. Because then what happens, even though you did a transition to make it more interesting and it has that effect, it can actually make the track then actually feel more monotonous and like more flatlined, because you don't ever get the lift, right? You drop the energy, but then you go back to flat again. and there's no lift, there's no stair step up. And so the track can end up feeling like it never quite grows where you want it to grow, or leads into like a little bit of a higher energy. It can feel like too mellow all the way through. So my recommendation is, like, if you're going to do a transition in any form, right, in any genre, in any different song you're working on, make sure what comes after has some variation to it so that it actually lifts the song and takes it to another level. It doesn't feel like it stagnates in any way. Because you have some good lyrics. I mean, this is a good hook. It is catchy. It's repetitive. You have some good lyrics in your verses, some pretty good structure in there. I think some of these like structural things and mixing details will help just bring a song like this and other songs that you're working on to life a little bit more. Give it a little bit more edge, a little bit more openness, and make it feel a bit more energetic so that it doesn't stagnate in any way. Y'all show some love to Miraj. Miraj, thank you so much for sending in today, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for dropping in the chat today and sending in that music, man. I appreciate that more than you know. Y'all give it up for everybody today. That's going to close us out. Everybody else on the list, I will be adding to your credit. So you'll actually get a little bit of a boost next time that you come in. I'll add 5 to your credit. And I'll make sure that we get to a couple more songs as we go live again tomorrow as well. I'm so glad, Miraj. Thank you for tapping in, man. For those of you who don't know, before we hop off, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time engineer, producer, and session musician. So if you ever need any of those services, whether you need, analog synths, hardware synths, keys, electric, acoustic, bass guitars, vocals, live drums, stuff like that, shoot me a message. I would absolutely love to work with you and see if there's any way that I can support your vision for your own music. Y'all are amazing. Y'all amazing. I appreciate y'all so much. Hopefully we'll see y'all very, very, very soon. Peace.